waiting, waiting, waiting. Keep on waiting, boys.
Doon, 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 doon. No, we're good. Okay, now it's live on my end.
Yep, there we go. Hooray!
Yay!
Dissected Alive.
Well, mostly for the Americans.
Yeah, there's been quite a lot of like screenshots and whatnot details that have just come up today or yesterday. Yeah.
Yeah. Zavik.
Yeah.
2 kinds of Zavik.
How spoiled are we?
Yeah, two. Yes, so Sal said, yeah, 2 kinds of Zavoks. Yeah, regular Zavok and crystal Zavok.
Like Pepsi.
Crystals.
Yeah, first there was Crystal Metal Sonic, then Crystal Omega, and now Crystal Zavok.
You forgot Crystal Mephiles.
Oh.
Or as everyone called him back in the day, Crystal Meth.
Yeah, Crystal Meth.
Lemon flavored Zavok.
I know. Does that count for a
Zavok Zero?
Zavok Zero. Cherry Zavok.
Wild Cherry Zavok, yeah.
Hold up.
I haven't started it yet, but man, I am so glad I finally got one.
Hooray!
Huzzah!
Oh, hold on. It's, crap, where is it? Here we go.
Oh, thank you.
Yay!
Yeah, I haven't started it yet. So there need like orientation and stuff for preparation, things like that. But yeah, I am excited for it. It's gonna be a change, that's for sure, but I'm looking forward to it.
Right, I think Sylvia is saying that she can't seem to hear you.
Me?
Well, it seems so. I mean, I've had a listen to the chat, and I can't seem to hear you either. So, not sure.
I think it's just Roger.
Roger. Okay.
Okay, well,
Okay.
how is everybody else doing?
Let's see.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll talk about how I'm doing. Like, I'm doing all right. Just was a bit busy at work for a while, dealing with extra recordings and meetings and whatnot. Same week as when I had issues trying to get my account working on Minecraft, which Sal and the others knew in the Minecraft server. I was kind of blew my top there for a bit, but I eventually calmed down, and yesterday I got it working again.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But aside from that, I've just been pretty hard at work doing the next episode of Oz Month for Forgotten Media. That one's going to be a bit of a beefy video where I talk about Legends of Oz, Dorothy's Return. Yeah, that infamous film where I not only cover the film, I also cover the book that it's loosely based off of, along with the prequel comic and the 3DS game. So yeah, I'm going to cover everything related to Legends of Oz.
Best of luck.
Yeah, thanks. Script's almost finished. I just gotta give a quick review of the movie itself before I move on to recording.
Yeah.
Can you people hear me now? Oh, and Liz,
Okay, yeah.
you're getting a shout out for your videos.
Oh, really? Where?
Hey,
With Aaron in the chat.
yeah, it's Summer Carnet.
Oh.
Yeah, Samurai guy. Yeah, whatever his name is.
Samurai guy.
Aw. Thank you,
And yes,
Sumera?
the stream can hear you now, Roger.
Yeah, we just had to
Hooray.
wait until the stream caught
Yeah,
up.
thanks Samira, and
Sorry for the confusion.
No worries.
yay.
Now everyone's happy.
Hey. So yeah, Roger, besides technical problems, how are you doing?
Glad OBS finally worked, I guess. I don't know.
Alright.
Annoyed it's super sunny now. Like the old days, miserable weather up until I go on my computer. Now it's like super sunny all of a sudden. Never when I'm outside.
It's actually kind of the same here, where yesterday we had quite a big rainstorm and whatnot, and now it's just sunny, but of course now that means I have to deal with my damn lock on the door being real sticky from all the severe rain, which it really sucks. It's like it was just recovering from being sticky from a previous rainstorm, and then this happens. Damn locks.
Someone asked my opinion on the Knuckles show. That's a good question. I'm not quite sure. It kind of confused me. It has
Can
a
we
weird
talk about it
sense-
now?
What is it, Luke?
Can we talk about it now?
Sure, go ahead if you have
Well,
something to say.
Good.
For me personally, I thought it was okay, and yes, I was disappointed as everyone else that not much of the attention was given to Knuckles. It was more towards Wade, as they've gone backwards to like the premise of the first movie, where it's just like an alien buddy movie with evil government agents after them. But you can tell that they had a bit of a budget because of the budget going towards Sonic the Movie 3, obviously, and it's not much about Knuckles, but more about Wade, of course. And I do like Wade's actor. He's quite funny. He's quite entertaining. It's not terrible, but not great. But I feel like it could do with another series as further down the line, hopefully. But I would say that my favourite character would be his dad, Pistol Pete, because I feel like he's stealing my act. But it's great to see Carrie Oles being a funny British person again, and especially an evil British person, because I find him a better villain than the buyer, because he's pretty much a one-dimensional villain in my opinion. No offense, but I felt that they could have done more with him, like a better motive for him wanting to destroy Knuckles, like make him like a rival scientist. Like he hates being in Robotnik's shadow. Like he's always treated like he's second best, and he's pissed that the government chose Robotnik over him to hunt down the hedgehog. And he feels like if he defeats Knuckles, he could probably find and destroy Robotnik to show him that he's the #1 scientist. But everything else, it's not too bad.
All right, there you go.
Yeah.
Who knows? Maybe we'll do a proper dissected on it. Although then I first have to figure out what its sense of humor is, because it's a very weird show. But yeah, and I guess we'll have a round for everyone now. Anyone else has thoughts on Knuckles' show?
Yeah, so I, like many others, was disappointed that the main focus wasn't Knuckles, but there was like that report before the show came out that said Knuckles was barely in the show, and I suppose that managed my expectations so that I was expecting even less Knuckles than we got. So in a way, I was surprised at how much Knuckles there was. And so I was able to enjoy the show for what it was, rather than what it was marketed as.
Oh, that's a good thing.
Yeah. I mean,
I just wanted to talk about something else. I absolutely love the intro, because the main theme, Warrior, has been stuck in my head for days afterwards.
Yes.
which is Knuckles' jam,
It's his jam!
and it's strawberry flavored.
I actually didn't like that post-credit scene where because like, you know, they like they kind of set that up earlier in the show where like Knuckles is like, "What is a jam?" and Wade explains, you know, it's like a song that speaks to you or whatever, and then like Knuckles immediately declares it his jam like the second he hears it. Doesn't even let it get to the lyrics. He's just like, this song, it speaks to me.
Would be funny every single time he hears a new song that's the new jam, because he hasn't heard every song yet, so he can't really decide. It's like, oh no, this is my jam. No, this is my jam. Even elevator music. Ah, this is my jam. Sounds like a joke from
There
my
you go,
parody.
Roger.
A joke in my parody.
Joke.
Oh.
Oh boy. But of course, still no Sonic music in it.
Speaking of music, though, that 4th episode.
Yes.
Oh,
my
yeah.
goodness.
Oh man, that was crazy.
I loved it. I thought it was fantastic.
Yeah.
It was definitely a very interesting episode. Even reference to Sonic 06, kind of. Well, at least through name, not through actual content, I suppose. But...
Yeah. That's kind of funny because like the creature they showed off, like, oh, the flames of disaster, and it shows. I guess it's supposed to be the Iblis. Although personally, he actually looks a little more like the Ifrit from Sonic
I
Rivals.
think
2.
that's actually what it was supposed to be, the Ifrit from Sonic Rivals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Rivals 2. Yeah.
The Flames of Disaster, I'm going to admit, that was super random. Just...
I guess it kind of looks like the Ifrit, but no, I think it looks more like Iblis.
Yeah. Well, then I have to ask myself, like, if Knuckles had the Flames of Disaster this whole time, why didn't he use it against Robotnik in the movie?
Yeah, that does create an interesting plot hole there.
One thing I'm still kind of wondering, though, and I've just popped it on the live chat, is whether or not they've actually fixed that typo. Because instead of just saying "stupid window," he says "stupid widow," which out of context. Even Knuckles' response to it's like, "Why would you say that?"
Knuckles hates single women.
Your husband died? Lol.
But yeah, and then of course, Pachacamic or Pachacamac or whatever. It's like, yeah, he's in the film, and it took them like over 20 years to make a likable version of this guy. And it's probably helped the fact that he's voiced by Christopher Lloyd.
I mean, he's not supposed to be
I
a
have to say,
likable
though,
character.
Idris Elba is a legend for being able to say this guy's name as smoothly as he did.
Yeah.
Because,
Christopher
oh man,
Lloyd,
even Sonic fans have a hard time pronouncing his name.
Because his name is never said in the game, I think. So we don't really have an
Yeah.
example.
No. So yeah, it's about as hard to pronounce as Dr. Fukuruko from Tales Adventure and a good chunk of characters from the comics.
Pretty much. But yeah, now I'm looking for a picture of that demon. He kind of looks like Zavik even. But then again, the only screenshots I can find is of a big screenshot, a big close-up of his face, not really the full body.
I will say, though, I think I have a reason, or I think I have thought of a reason as to why Knuckles isn't really in the show that much, and it's because he is he's an expensive character.
Yeah.
I will say, because like he's CG animated, and he looks very well CG animated, for a TV show. And he's also voiced by a high-profile actor, so Knuckles is pretty freaking expensive.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's like I can't imagine it would have been a budgeting problem to put him in. Like honestly, with the time that he's in there, it is still impressive that they managed to get him in as often as they could.
Should have made a
So-
TV show about Tails. At least the voice actors would have been cheaper.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, even so, like aside from Knuckles being voiced by a high-profiled actor and whatnot, it kind of feels like, with like CG with being used so often, because you're like, oh, traditional animation's obsolete, said the idiots. But anyway, the whole deal with not being used because CGI is expensive was kind of weird, because like again, with how often CGI is used nowadays, you'd think it'd be much cheaper, but no, I guess that's the case. But I don't know. In some ways, I kind of feel like the show might have been hampered because of the whole writer's strike that happened quite a while ago. But
Yeah, that
knows?
too.
Who knows? Yeah.
But yeah, as I still say though that Knuckles is an expensive character because he is CG animated, unlike the rest of the cast, which are human actors. So
Yeah, well, if the whole writer's strike was true, then let's just be glad that none of the humans were replaced by all that AI crap that they've
Yeah.
been trying to do in films.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the Flash that nobody liked.
then again, to me, the whole writer's strike is pointless because we've just been getting so much, like, mediocre work where it's like, pay me more. Why? So you could continue to create more mediocre stuff and expect us to, consume it. So yeah, to me, the writer's strike was just.
Then again, I feel
I don't
it's
want to
more
go
the
too much
Hollywood
into it, but to me, it was ridiculous.
especially since Hollywood's not making a lot of money. So.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
basically, the whole thing is best described as a broken pencil.
But to the writer's defense, kind of, I have a hunch that it's just the situation itself, like the very complicated studio politics that makes it impossible to write something decent. Because we like to think of a writer as sitting in their office, like quietly planning out a great story, but that's probably not how it really goes. You constantly have like actors and a lot of directors and producers constantly like, no, change this, change that, change this, and having all kinds of weird demands.
that is true. Like the writers can be. Like, I will say, like, there are situations where writers are hampered by, corporate greed.
Yep. So
But-
it's
Yeah, it's just what ticks me off is that the way Hollywood treats its audience as if the audience is stupid.
fair enough.
So,
And there's a lot of weird stuff. I mean, I saw a video recently about Madam Web, that recent movie, and there's a lot of hints.
gosh.
There's a lot of hints that originally that story was written that Spider-Man actually showed up in it, but later they had legal issues with it, and he had to take Spider-Man out. So that's one of the main reasons why the story is so completely broken, because he suddenly had to change the time span where it takes place and all that. But
Well, then even the actors were like even they were just like, yeah, this is not good. So it's like when even the actors themselves acknowledge their work is awful, something went wrong.
But even against that, because it's very clear that a lot of stuff happened through cutting and pasting their dialogue together. So it really feels like they desperately tried to insert a whole different story in at the last minute by switching around the scenes they filmed. So it's clearly Madam Web is more like a puzzle than an actual constructed movie. So hey, at least it's kind of fascinating to look at it from that perspective as some sort of modern art piece, I suppose.
Yeah. I give the Knuckles show credit though in that at least they at least tried, with what they had. And it's clear that they were passionate about this. So
Fair enough.
and one of my favorite moments actually was where you think that Wade is going to betray Knuckles, but they do a bait and switch where Knuckles gets up to the room where those lackeys are waiting for him, and then he ambushes them, and then it turns out that Wade snuck him an AirPod so he could listen in on the conversation.
Those are
I
kind of
was
neat
just
moments.
like, that was actually pretty clever. I did like that.
Yeah, I really like that scene. Yeah.
Yeah, because then it's like, oh no, they're gonna be doing "you betrayed me, I thought you were my friend" kind of thing. But nope, they didn't do that. Instead, it was. Yeah.
Hooray for misleading our expectations.
Yeah, and then I also liked how they did set it up beforehand with, Knuckles trying to help Wade, like with his phone through the AirPods, trying to talk to his dad. So I'm like, okay, they set it up and then they paid it off, and I'm like, that was actually really good. I liked that.
Yeah, that is surprising because I thought like they did that whole like communicate blah blah blah, and it comes off awkwardly. It's like okay, they're gonna find out it's Knuckles pulling the strings, but like no, that doesn't go that way, and then it kind of comes back in a more different way. So hey, that's a nice change.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's a lot of fun little details like that indeed. But
And I gotta say, I love Pistol Pete. Is that his name?
Yes.
Yeah.
I love his bowling balls.
British.
Those are amazing. It's like that's just like that is like the most British thing I have ever seen in my life. Sorry, it's just.
Yeah. So now we know what Luke the Fox does on his off days on the weekends.
Yes.
Bowling his balls.
Oh no.
Holding his teeth.
All jokes galore.
I think my favourite bit was where Wade as Knuckles cradles a puppet of his dad.
Oh yeah. Son, like father, don't leave me. Don't worry, I won't.
Knuckles is dead on him.
Also, he looked like such a muppet.
Yeah.
Speaking of, a lot of people, including the man himself, have pointed out the similarities between this puppet of Knuckles' dad and Ken Penders.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I think even Penders like did comment on that. It's like, whatever kind of responds, but
Yeah.
I think it's just kind of weird. It's like, oh, guy with mustache and glasses, that's totally a Ken Penders reference. Even though if you look at photos of what he looks like now, he looks very different.
Yeah.
This is kind of the same.
As in no tash and glasses.
Yeah, no tash, no glasses. He's definitely gained a bit of weight, but yeah, it's kind of the same deal with like Gabe Newell. Like how people, whenever they make fun of him and Valve and whatnot, they always use the younger, more marketable design, and not like nowadays where he looks more like Santa Claus.
He's actually God.
Oh yes.
Oh, no.
If hopefully it'll have been worth the wait.
I did not make that connection that he looks like Penders until you guys pointed it out. But he does. And I love that when he kicks the bucket, that he gets like those big X marks on his glasses.
True time and effort put into that.
I'll admit, that got me.
But also small appreciation to the Knuckles puppet prop that they used in filming.
Yeah,
It's in the live chat. It's like Knuckles is like, ooh, look at that hand.
Ooh, yeah, it's like that scene from the 11th Doctor's intro, like, ooh, hands, fingers. Yeah.
It does
Why
make me,
is this puppet always smiling?
it does make
He's
me,
a happy fella.
Yeah.
it does make me think that if this show was made in the 90s, this might have been a bit similar to Alf, because I kind of get Alf vibes from this show as well as the first Sonic movie.
Yeah, Willie, oh! Yeah.
Especially the way he's just sitting there, like going, hey, oh!
Yeah. What's that over there?
He looks so derpy. I love it.
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
Part of me wishes the show just looked like that.
Yeah. He would have been Nick Ralph.
Yeah. Movie Sonic, the Muppet Edition.
Jim Henson's the Knuckles Show.
Well, here's hoping when they eventually release the Knuckles series on physical media, Blu-ray, DVD and such, that they actually include behind the scenes stuff or even deleted scenes involving that puppet. Because I want to see it.
I would pay for that. I would absolutely pay for that.
It's time to get things started on the Knuckles Show tonight.
Oh, I also love the actor who played Jack the Bounty Hunter, because he had a pretty cool voice, and I think he's a famous singer as well. And also, if you use a bit of imagination, you could kind of see him as a human version of Fang the Hunter. I mean, in fact, Jack the Weasel.
Kinda.
Sure.
But yeah, I did
also
like
how
how
this explains where Knuckles got his hat.
Yeah.
yeah, even though he didn't really do anything to get it, but sure.
Well, I suppose maybe Wade was originally going to wear it, but then his mum says, like, nope, you're going to wear a helmet like a good boy. You got to show an example for being a policeman. Okay, Mom.
Knuckles is exempt because his head is harder than a cannonball, so...
Nah, maybe the hat was just too big, and so like, okay, here, you have it, Knuckles. But yeah, the whole deal with the bounty hunter, yeah, that's definitely an interesting thing that they decided to do, like revisit an idea from the first Sonic movie. It's like, oh, back then, like Tom got branded as a terrorist, or Sonic and blah blah blah, and that gets like abandoned like the minute it gets brought up. But in this film, like they set it up, and there actually is a proper payoff. Like there's the scene with the bounty hunters invading Wade's home, and they have this big brawl and everything. So yeah, and then of course the hunter guy tries to haul him off as well.
And yet after that, they can walk around Reno and join the competition with no problem. So it is still dropped.
I will say the fight scene in the house, when they do that camera shot where it's circling around the room and Knuckles and the lady are fighting. It's like I love the attention to detail that they did with the candles, because if you watch, like the flames will flicker, it and react to like what is going on.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I love that attention to detail.
It was definitely one of the best shots just in the whole show, because it was so expertly done.
Mm-hmm.
And now we want to see the behind the scenes where the Muppet Knuckles
Absolutely.
does that.
Yes.
And then he accidentally gets set on fire.
Oh, no. I think that was actually like split screen, where
Probably.
like they did the fighting first without the candles, and then they did the same shot with the candles. And like some people like off screen were, doing stuff to manipulate how they would flicker based on what the action was.
Yeah.
Yeah, although if talking about Wade's family, man, is it a dysfunctional family. And I hate the sister. I'm sorry. I hate the sister character because to me, she broke my suspension of disbelief, where it's like, it would have been one thing if she just kept like throwing shade at Wade, bragging about her job as a federal agent, but then I thought it would have been better if it's revealed that she's actually not. She was putting on, because Wade is an actual police officer, but she to her, like, she's actually nothing special. So like she just put on this act of being part of the FBI, but you find out later she's actually not, because she seemed to be extremely incompetent at everything.
Yeah, shouldn't she know her brother is wanted, for starters?
Yeah, it was like she didn't know that, so it's like, okay, how could you not know that because it was FBI stuff? It's like, wouldn't you have been told? But yeah, I think it would have been made so much better. Like, to me, what would have made her character like just a little bit better is if you find out that she's actually lying about her job. Yeah, like she's actually not an FBI agent.
Would make sense, because why is she wearing FBI clothes when she's not on the job? Like, she's just showing off.
Yeah, and then it's like, okay, if you're part of the FBI, aren't you like supposed to keep that mostly under wraps? It's like, so why are you showing it off at every turn?
Yeah,
it's like, unless you actually aren't part of the FBI. So
I do feel like. Sorry,
I was
saying that. Sorry, I think that she's actually jealous of Wade being a police officer. She tries to one up him, so she actually gets a fake FBI shirt from a charity shop or something.
Yeah, something like that. That would be interesting. Or just an FBI fangirl. I mean, I know a lot of people who are fans of the military and wear military clothes and have a lot of hardware around the house, even though they don't really have a career there. Just because they love the
that's pretty much my headcanon with her. It's like, oh, she claims she's part of the FBI, but not really. She's just there.
Yeah, I wish they did reveal that in the show, though, where she was lying.
I really thought they were going to, and then they didn't. I was very surprised.
Although at least they had a payoff with her when she kind of hurt herself trying to get out of the cuffs without Wade's help.
Yeah.
So at least there was some sort of a comedic payoff to her.
Okay, and it seems like that I will never be able to be a doctor. The best I can do is work behind the scenes with records and stuff, because, oh man, that scene, I almost...
It was not pleasant to look at.
It's like that actually genuinely made me sick when I saw that.
One problem I had with that moment is that she didn't like react to it. Like, I thought that after a few seconds later she would like suddenly scream in pain, but she didn't.
Yeah. Or I mean, she should have at least maybe collapsed from the overall pain she was getting. Like, now excuse me a moment, plop.
Yeah, that would have been better.
And unfortunately, I think the fact that like her strategy worked and she didn't pass out from the pain might indicate that she is telling the truth about being an FBI agent, and I hate that.
Or maybe she just has a very high pain tolerance, or have a condition of no, she can't have that. There's a genetic condition where people actually don't feel pain because the pain receptors are blocked off from their brain.
Yeah.
But I heard her, like say ow a few times, and so I'm like, okay, she can't have that. But
yeah. Well, like
the scene that really made me.
Sorry. Even ignoring that, like she knows how to get out of handcuffs, which seems like an odd thing for a like pretender to know how to do.
Maybe she just faked it, and that's why her thumb got all messed up.
Maybe.
Because I don't think dislocating your thumb is how you get out of handcuffs. I mean, it could be, I don't know, but...
I like to think it's just purely her desperate focus on upstaging her brother that she just got superpowers, I guess. She so desperately wants to show him off.
It's like, what is so wrong with having your brother help you in this life or death situation? Even the mom has had enough.
Yeah.
Where it could be like, okay, here's how it's gonna go. It's like, either you let me help you, or I'm just gonna leave you here. So...
Yeah, well, it's ultimate sibling.
It's like, or we could go the extreme and I'll cut your hand off. I'll cut your...
Yeah, see.
But yeah, the scene that really made me just, like, lose all sympathy for her character or lose any kind of, like, attempt to like her was when she stabbed Wade with the fork. And I'm just like, okay, that is assault. Right there. Like, and so it's like, Wade can charge you for that. He is a police officer.
Yeah, that's definitely a scene that I felt like went a bit too far. It's like, yeah, they had their sibling quarrel and whatnot. Like, if she just, shoved him out of his chair and then he left the storm off, okay, that's fine. But no, she goes all freaking Hannibal Lecter on him with stabbing him with the fork and whatnot.
Yeah, I guess the show just really wanted to go slapsticky, but since it didn't really establish it operates in that kind of level, it kind of has a shock effect.
Yeah, it's just a bit too nihilistic and yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's just very unclear in its sense of humor. It doesn't really establish its sense of humor rules, kind of. So one moment it's more like a Naked Gun movie. Sometimes it's supposed to be slapstick, and sometimes more like restrained. Like it's like it doesn't really have a comedic voice, so to speak. And that's my main issue with the Sonic movie universe in general. Like the sense of humor is always a bit off. Like it's kind of funny sometimes, but most of the time I'm just kind of like I can kind of see what kind of joke you're trying to make, but it doesn't quite click. It's like you don't really have a clear.
Yeah, I got that in the fourth episode where Wade meets Pacamac and they do the whole screaming thing and like trying to pronounce his name, and I was like, oh, we're really doing this, are we?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh well.
I mean, it's understandable if you're just not saying it exactly, but then again, he's like saying it more sort of like further away from. He might as well just be talking gibberish at this point.
Mm-hmm. Oh, something I want to make clear is that when I'm talking about Wade's sister, I'm not talking about the actress herself. I'm talking about the character. I just want to make that perfectly clear. So, like, I'm not talking about the actress. I'm talking about the character she portrays. I'm not talking about her as a person. So, I think.
Indeed.
But yeah, I will say though, like when Knuckles is on screen and when he is in this show, he steals every single scene he's in.
Yeah.
So it's like It's like Idris Elba he knocked it out of the park again, you know. Yeah, it's like I think Knuckles was done very well in this show, actually. So.
Yeah, I suppose that's the greatest strength, especially since how completely pointless and useless he's been in the games for so long, and even Sonic Boom is just a punchline,
I did like seeing Knuckles in action,
giving him some actual weight is satisfying. Yeah.
Yeah, and seeing and seeing actually how he handles himself in a fight. Like when you have that camera turn shot in the house with the candles, I do like seeing how Knuckles is he's actually having fun with this fight.
Right. It's half 7 over here now. I think we've been. Should we move on to Sonic Underground now?
Yeah, we probably should. Yeah.
That Knuckles movie talk. Yeah, that was a sudden last edition thing.
Last minute. Was not planned. No.
Yeah, just to wrap this up, I will say though, if this series had to walk in order for the third movie to run, then I'd say it was worth it.
Yeah, and on the plus side, at least the Knuckles miniseries, it's it has its problems, but I find it I think I said it before, it's enjoyable filler for the most part, and at least it's better paced, which is something that the last Sonic TV show obviously did not have. And I kind of feel like maybe it's because the shorter episodes helped it a lot, because with Prime's case, it kind of feels like they relied more on quantity over quality, but I don't know, that's just me.
Mm-hmm.
Fair enough. No.
But yeah, we can make a proper dissected of it later.
Yes.
Yeah.
Much later.
Yeah. Either way,
Anyway, back on topic.
time for Sonic Underground Country Crisis, starting with Sylvia's little preview video. Here we go. Alrighty, Sonic Underground, Country Crisis, and I'm gonna do the synopsis for this one. So, it was a wonderful Sunday afternoon when Sonic and siblings played terrorists and detonated a few buildings. I think we need to assume those were evil buildings, but it's not clarified, so it might them just being acting out against our old high school, who knows. Anyway, while the citizens of Robotropolis have to deal with the fires and rubble, Sonic Underground goes back to their home base. Noticing someone set off their Pebble burglary system, they realize danger is afoot. Robotnik or his goons might be inside. Carefully, our heroes open the doors and scout whether our enemies are hiding. But fortunately, there's nothing but a safe radioactive glowing piece of paper on the ground, so it's from their mother. Sonia picks it up and starts reading it. Their mother fails to mention that the prophecy making them separated is a bunch of stupid nonsense since they can safely ignore it and casually communicate through letters anyway, but she does mention that Robotnik's building a dam in the countryside, so off Sonic and friends go. They are welcomed by a paranoid farmer, thinking them to be Robotnik's goons. Sonic has to prove himself to be the real deal. He does so by running really fast, setting off the entire grass field on fire. Now, since impressed by this fire hazard threatening their farm, the siblings are welcomed in by the farm group. The Valley people. The farm boy, named Jared, offers them a tour to the dam. He proudly proclaims that he can safely guide them all the way through without spotting any enemies, which Sleet and Dingo can probably appreciate as they are staring at them through the camera, the robot hiding behind the tree 1 feet away. Poor Jared. This time, Sleet and Dingo have a plan. Instead of just calling Robotnik immediately over, they decide they're gonna capture Sonic himself and hope to get paid for it. I'm not sure how that's a plan, but there you go. It seems to be pretty much what they do every episode. Anyway, meanwhile, Jared's giving them the backstory of what's going on, since the Valley people and the Mountain people who live here have a bit of a feud together. And Jared blames Queen Alina for this for some reason, since he gave the two tribes half of a medallion as evidence who's the ruler of each of the ground or something, I don't know. And to celebrate that, they have a little bit of a feast. However, of course, one of the medals immediately goes missing, and an epic battle involving blowing raspberries and shit-eating grins commences. In retaliation, the mountain folk refuse to play music from this point on. But considering their contribution music instrument usage was just mildly banging on a jar, I'm not sure that's much of a powerful statement, but whatever. Regardless, the age of darkness has begun between them. Meanwhile, back in the present, our heroes find the dam. There's a guard robot who spots a parrot and sets it on fire. Fortunately, the cartoon tastefully cuts away before the poor parrot becomes toast. But impressed by finally finding a SWAT bot with an actual death count, Sonic and siblings declare that they desperately need the help from the mountain folk as well, because only elderly hermits could possibly put up a fight against this guy. Sadly, Jared can't join in on their quest to finding the mountain folk, because he's not welcome there, of course. Not because of the medallion situation, but because of some unrelated business involving his stint as a Subway spokesperson. While walking in the woods, Sonic spots a suspicious person walking in the forest, and he rushes towards it. However, it's just a young girl, so Sonic immediately stops himself from grabbing her, unlike what Jared probably would have done. It's Sarah, and she seems to know all about Jared and the Valley folk right from the start, which is very suspicious. Anyway, they follow her, and they meet up with Granny Meglev. Actually, I don't know what her name is, but she kind of reminds me of Meglev from my own show. Anyway, she's still bitter about the whole medallion situation, of course, but she agrees that she's willing to have a talk about it because the dam is a bit of a problem for them. They don't want to drown. So, they have a discussion, a peace agreement, and they shake hands, so it's now peace. And then Jared and Sarah also shake hands, and it's immediately war again. I guess the handshakes cancel each other out. Realizing that the two young ones are in love with each other, Granny grabs his shotgun to start blasting some sense out of them. So it's a shotgun wedding, except the opposite of a wedding, I suppose. So it's up for Sonic and friends to step in and stop this. So Sonic does the old Bugs Bunny finger in the loop gag. Tragically for Sonic, the Mythbusters episode where they prove that you still get your hand blown off if you try to do this hasn't been filmed yet. But lucky for Sonic, they don't actually shoot at him. So lucky us. Now we get to witness a very rare scenario. Sonic has to actually think about something, which is immediately... we actually get to witness, which is very special. You even get the sound effect of a rattly, rusty cogwheel barely moving. I think we should edit this sound effect into every Sonic Prime episode where Sonic has to do any thinking. Either way, instead of a gun battle, now we get the music battle. And Sonic and friends start to do their thing as usual. After about 2 lyrics where Sonic and Sonia are supposed to be representing each tribe and have a fight with each other, they immediately start preaching about friendship. So they should be disqualified. They're not really doing what they're supposed to be doing. Oh well. Regardless, the music was so awesome that peace has been restored anyway, making Sonic Underground officially more successful in making peace songs than Michael Jackson and John Lennon combined. Back to the intimidating badass SWAT-bot, Sonic sneaks by undetected by running violently with a fire trail toward the robot. Despite this stealth, the SWAT-bot suddenly reveals that it did detect Sonic, because of the subtle hint of Sonic loudly screaming for its attention. The SWAT-bot blasts its machine gun straight at Sonic, who can only barely dodge it by just standing in the same place and barely moving his foot. So I'm not particularly impressed by this robot so far. Now we're suddenly introduced to a brand new weapon this SWAT-bot has, a hook shot. It fires it, it misses, and it never shows up again. So, pretty awesome weapon. Anyway, the trees are very impressed by this and immediately swoon and fall over. Now the full battle commences with the tribes and the robots going on a full battle for the dam. Pretty much all the robots are useless as usual and immediately die off. So everyone celebrates by having their most stupid, dumb face expressions ever. Which I absolutely love. And I lost my spot.
Shame on you.
I'm not very good at synopsis, sorry.
Yeah. Gotta do it more often, Roger.
I should do it more often, yeah. Salah remains our synopsis champion so far.
Oh, and you are in for a treat.
No. Anyway, back to my stupid synopsis. Anyway, just as Manic is about to finally do something in this episode and break the dam with his drumming, the writer immediately takes that one victory away from him and suddenly makes Sleet and Dingo actually menacing for the first time in the 36 episodes I've watched so far. And they remember that their airship can actually fire. So everyone else has to run for their lives, and they have to make up a new plan. Jared asks how, and the cartoon immediately responds with a guitar solo. Jared agrees with it. Meanwhile, Sonic is still running and hiding from the intimidating SWAT bot. So frustrated by being helpless, he decides to shoot Jared instead. But he doesn't, sadly. Anyway, meanwhile, Manic and Sonia distract Sleet and Dingo from shooting at them by luring them in to shoot at them anyway, but now from a different spot. This helps because immediately the SWAT bot starts shooting at Sleet and Dingo. I don't know why. I think it's just very terrible at aiming at them because he's supposed to be shooting at people right in front of him.
I think it's mostly just because they were shooting at the dam and he was like, must protect the dam, so he just started shooting them.
Oh.
Because he's like, I must protect the dam at all costs, even if it's people on my side.
Pretty much.
Okay, I did not catch that. Oh well. Either way, Manic is so thankful for the robot helping them that he immediately kills the robot with a drum solo. It tragically falls over in slow motion, declares it has to protect the dam, and immediately starts shooting at the dam anyway. So, poor robot, it really sucked at aiming.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, robot. Then we get some wonderful derpy faces again, and the tribes finally start celebrating their incredible victory. Grabbing the music jar, Granny suddenly finds the missing medallion. In the past, Granny put the medallion there while she was going to dance. But she was so in love with this wonderful man that she immediately accuses of being a thief and started a decade-long feud of hatred 5 minutes later afterwards for decades. That she completely forgot she put the medal in there. So, true love. Anyway, Zed and Granny give the medallions to the Sonic siblings, who put it together and discover that, oh, it's actually a map. Sonic declares he'll immediately go wherever the map takes him to the next episode. But since the next episode is about a beauty salon, I guess Queen Alina leaving the tribes this message, she was secretly telling them that they needed a haircut. Oh well. Anyway, I would make a joke about shippers being delighted that Sonic ditches Sonia to start dancing with Manic, but Elise would probably kill me for that, so the end.
Well,
Wait, what? I'm sorry, I missed that.
Well, I mean, you could say, like, oh, Sonic decided to dance with Manic instead of Sonya because everybody knows that Manic is the best dancer.
Sure, let's go with that.
Obviously.
Yeah.
And that was
one
my
of the
first.
few times I actually got a bit of a chuckle from it.
Well, on top of that, they're siblings, so...
Yeah. Yeah, that did get a chuckle from me just seeing that. Like, Sonic saying, "Wanna dance? Delighted. Maybe next time, sis," and just goes dancing around in circles with Manic.
Yeah, even Sonic knows that Manic is the best.
Manic is the MVP of this. So.
Yeah.
Even though he didn't really do much in this episode, poor guy.
Yeah, this episode is basically the Sonic in Alabama.
Pretty much, yeah.
or in some cases, this is basically the Sonic version of the historical Hatfields and McCoy's feud. Just with a giant wall and them robots, yeah.
I'm the only one who's very uncomfortable by looking at Granny's posture, because it looks very painful. So bend over.
Yeah, she's always hunched down like that. Yeah, damn sunny boys.
Yeah, because she spent so long in her rocking chair because she never danced again.
Yeah. Oh, Sylvia just gave a. It's like, how old is Queen Alina? She gave them those medallions when they were much younger.
That's a very good question. Yeah.
Yeah, that is.
Maybe when she was.
It's like, is Queen Alina immortal?
Or maybe it's a previous ruler called Queen Alina. Like she's Queen Alina the 13th or something.
I think they
maybe.
specifically said it was their mother that gave them the medallions.
Right.
So.
Yeah.
Maybe Queen Alina has been talking with the Oracle again, and he's like saying, "Yeah, take this medallion and take it to some annoying folks that will eventually give the medallions back to your children."
Or she was crowned when she was very, very young.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
Or she has like a secret flask of Fountain of Youth on her.
To be
Or
fair, we
maybe
never
she
see
was
Queen Alina.
Alina at the time.
Oh, sorry, Sally, go ahead. Can you say
I
that
said,
again?
or maybe she was Princess Alina at the time.
Probably. We
Oh,
never
yeah.
see her during the
Yeah,
flashback. Maybe she was just a 5-year-old girl during that scene.
In which case, she is thinking really far ahead. Like, yes, I will give these two clans each half of a medallion with a map on it, and that map will someday be useful for my children.
Or maybe she was like being an acting on behalf of the current monarchy at the time.
Probably.
As part of her royal princess duties.
And I'm afraid we'll never know, since this show doesn't have much of a continuity. Although, is it ever followed up on? I mean, not in the next episode, but...
Nah, I don't think the medallion's brought up again.
Yeah, I think a lot of details in Sonic Underground episodes are kind of just one and done standalone episodes. Mostly, yeah.
For the most part.
I mean, the snow globe was followed up on, kind of. At least it showed up a second episode.
One thing I note, obviously, this is the budget episode because before this episode, it was like the 2-3-parter stories of the Origin and the Chaos Emerald saga. So obviously, this one kind of suffered a bit with the animation right at the beginning.
Yeah.
Which looked very rough. I was just like, oh dear, this is the budget episode.
Because a few minutes afterwards, you see in the beginning, you do see that the 3 hedgehogs looking very off model.
Yeah, especially with the music video. This is like the most calm music video that is in Sonic Underground, because every other episode's got thrown into wacky effects and all this weird shit. It's like, no, it's just this still frame up at the top, and then a bunch of smaller frames going by like a film reel.
Which is in this case a good thing. You prefer to watch quiet.
Yeah, it's one of the more tame visuals. Yeah.
But yeah, even if the animation is a bit off, I love the backgrounds again, so it's not too bad. And the face expressions are awesome, so I still had a good time.
I have noticed that the younger version of the old farmer, he kind of looks a bit like Crunch the Bandicoot.
Yeah, I am getting serious, Crash Bandicoot vibes from these people.
Especially when he has that big grin on his face. Yep. Very Crash Bandicoot-esque.
Well, I heard Luke say Crunch, and I'm like, what? He don't look that buff.
I mean, the face.
Oh, yeah, the face, yeah. Like, in terms of Crash, yeah. Because, Crunch has gone through a few different facial changes, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
well.
big eyebrows and all that, yeah. Yeah, I don't know, for some reason it kind of gave me a Gaston vibe. Just the way that face is chiseled,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Him just literally walking off with that big shit-eating grin.
Yeah. Yeah, no one's best at arguing like Gaston, or whatever his name is. Yeah.
Zed, I think.
I mean, that's an odd expression to walk away with when you've just had a fight with somebody that you're
in love
you're
with.
supposed to be in love with.
Yeah. He's just so like, bitch. Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of what it looks like.
Yeah, haha, bitch. It's like, you're a twat. Yeah.
I mean, I guess all that spinning around during dancing can be good for your brain.
Yeah, definitely.
I also
Especially if you just leave like that.
I also noticed that one of the rednecks kind of looks a bit like Freddy Fazbear.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh no.
Remembered you pointing that out. Fazbear before Fazbear was a thing.
Yeah.
I love those anime speedlines in the background, almost like implying they're dancing at super speed. It's like no wonder their brains will turn to mush.
Spinning around, go.
Exactly. Too bad we can't use the "Spin Me Right Round" tune because that would work.
Ah, yeah.
You'll have to sing
Spin me
it.
right round, baby, right round.
There we go. Applause for you.
So a funny thing is like the moment where they decide to settle their feud with a song, because fucking a song is solution to everything in the show. and they're like, but we don't want to do the singing ourselves. You will bring these siblings to fight each other for us. And even then, they still leave out Manic.
Yeah. Poor Manic.
Well, he gets his time to shine later because he's the one who single-handedly brings down the dam.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's nice to see him using his earthquake powers again for the first time in forever.
Yeah. Man, like even before the whole like singing thing, like the whole deal of them trying to settle the whole feuding thing to work together, it really comes off as stupid. Like, okay, they get together, it's like, okay, we'll try and work together, and then the two young ones like hold hands. It's like, oh, my gal's like interested in a valley boy. Like, okay, fuck the deal, we're fighting again.
When that moment happened, I thought the old guy's like, you can't marry her, she's your sister.
They are very wishy-washy. these people, they're like, oh, I love this guy. Oh shit, I lost my medallion. I fucking hate this guy forever. And then like years later, they finally get together. Like, all right, fine, I can work together as long as we can save our homes. And they're like, oh shit, 2 children are holding hands. I'm gonna murder them.
Really grabs a shotgun,
yeah. Actually,
what the frick?
I am now wondering if hillbillies are actually like this.
Actually, what if instead we get these two, this brother and sister to fight each other for us? Okay, that was entertaining. I like you again. we can work together. and then work together, like, all right, we'll let bygones be bygones. Oh shit, here's the medallion.
Yeah. I think it would have been more funny if like Sonya and Manic started holding hands of relief, like, oh, they're holding hands now. All right, the feud's back on, boy.
Back on.
Oh man, this is like pure prime parody material for Roger.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, especially this shot where Granny grabs the shotgun. If you look at the guy in the background, he looks like, oh, this again. Like he's just here we go again.
Like, yeah, oh shit, here we go again.
How guy the villagers look.
Yeah.
Kind of all on moonshine.
Well,
Yeah.
I
Too
mean,
much
maybe.
moonshine.
Yeah. I suppose maybe that explains why there was only like Zeb, Granny, Jared, Sarah, and the 3 hedgehogs doing the raid, and no one else. It was just literally just them. Like, where's everyone else?
Yeah, the party was so small.
They have all given up. They do not care anymore.
They're too jacked up on moonshine, yeah.
Yeah, maybe that was the point. They were basically getting themselves a bit ready with drinking a bit of moonshine, but they drank too much and they all just collapsed on the floor.
I thought the joke we were going for is that they all just got fed up with the feud and no longer even bothered.
Yeah, they're too drunk to care anymore.
And also, you don't even see them like shooting at the robots. You just get the lasers coming from off screen.
And Sonya is holding her like piano medallion, but it's in the shape of a handgun this time instead of like a
The rifle she normally
a
has.
rifle.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
so-
that's weird.
It's like
Like,
you
in
think it's
this-
her shooting them, but then no, it's later revealed it's the grandpa that shooting these things too.
Yeah, it's so weird. It's like Sonya just suddenly comes out. It's like, "Hey guys, my medallion can turn into a pistol now! Pew pew!" But yeah, the whole reveal about then of course the whole reveal of where the medallions have been the whole time is pretty stupid. It's like, okay, well one was like stuck in a jug, like okay, fine, but then the old guy like pulls out the one that he had. It's like, wait, how the hell did he suddenly remember that? How did he not feel that?
No. His was never lost. It was
all
only
right.
hers that was lost.
Okay, I was kind of under the impression that both of their medallions were lost.
Understandable.
Yeah.
Wouldn't have been surprised with how silly goofballs they are. But it's not the case.
Damn Yankees, yeah.
The face of true love.
Yeah, face of true love. Oh, bitch.
I love him so much, my eyes went the wrong way.
You're crazy in love.
Yeah. Just had a little too much moonshine, yeah.
I don't know who her brain briefly left her head for a moment.
Yeah.
If your eyes look like that, you might be a redneck.
Speaking of, I think the environment may have gotten to the hedgehogs because after Manic brings down the dam, Sonya kisses him on the cheek.
Oh, I didn't
Oh
catch that.
boy, yeah.
Shows how long it was like they're all just going to get affected by these folks' way of life.
Yeah, like, man, this young whippersnapper is kissing our best boy. All right, the feud's back on.
Sonic's like, we've got to get out of here. It is placing a bad influence on us.
But it's too late
There's
because
something
even he
in
got
this
affected
place.
at the end.
And then in the next episode, they end up with the Amish.
Yeah, the
Amish?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, methinks this is like one of those episodes that kind of hasn't really aged well with the, the stereotypes and all that.
Well, everybody gets. I think in this series, everybody gets their turn in the dunk tank.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially with all the Arabian themed episodes that Underground's done, yeah.
I think what really sells home just how like wishy-washy this stupid feud is like over the course of the episode they go from wanting to kill each other over hand holding to holding a wedding.
Yeah. It's just, yeah. So at this point, you're just kind of expecting them to be all like, "Oh, free moonshine for everyone." Then Sonic
Speaking
again.
of the dam, here's the thing. Is that Wyvern Robotnik sent a bunch of robots who basically short circuit the moment they touch water.
That's a very good question.
Wait a minute, hold up, something ain't right.
Yeah, if there was one robot, you would think he would extra waterproof. It would be the one guarding the dam.
Yeah. Nope. Yeah, I really got to invest in that whole waterproof gig.
Oh yeah, and getting reminded
I
that
really
how the
love-
parrot looks like Iago.
Oh yeah.
Oh no.
yeah, robot shooting off at Iago. Yeah. Stupid robot! This is the last time I'm in this damn show.
There we go.
Yeah, sorry, I couldn't think of anything better.
Luke,
It's
go
fine.
ahead.
I was just going to say, I really love the design of the huge, imposing robot, because he looks like really cool and has like shoulder-mounted turrets, and you would think that Robotnik would use more robots like these, because they're kind of like the giant Death Egg robots in like Sonic Forces and that.
It's a very awesome design, yeah.
Pretty cool.
Almost dinosaur-like, especially with the feet.
And it's it's very deadly as well. It's one of the best Robotnik robots ever, probably.
Yeah.
Especially the best one in this show.
Yeah.
It's just too bad it was programmed stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it probably ran on Windows 95.
There you go.
Windows 98. That's the
Yeah.
one that's problematic.
Fucking Windows.
Oh
98.
no! Moisture must destroy dam.
They're like
And once
Robotnik.
again, it's actually Manic who brings him down because he destroyed the dam and that knocked the robot over.
Yep.
Yeah, man, I can just imagine with how dumb that robot is. There would be like a scene where Robotnik shows up to inspect the dam's like, excellent, soon it will be complete. And then the robot starts firing at him. Yeah, intruder must protect the dam. Like, stupid robot, I'm your creator.
Yeah,
Project Dam.
I did actually like that they came up with the plan to use the robot itself to shoot at Sleet and Dingo. That I thought that was pretty clever.
Yeah.
That was a pretty good idea.
One thing,
Yeah.
one thing that I'm assuming was like must have been because of a budget reason or something. But when the Guardian robot was shooting at the dam, saying like must protect the dam, and he was like shooting a big piece off from the dam itself, I thought, oh, maybe that piece is going to try and land on Manic, but nothing came of it. So it's just like, oh, so you just destroyed a chunk of your own dam you're trying to protect for no reason.
I thought the giant rock was gonna fall on him and crush him to like finish the destruction.
Yeah, I was waiting for a payoff like that too, but nothing happened. Kind of random. Oh well.
Unless they realise, oh crap, we missed a scene. What are we going to do? Oh, just leave it out. No one's going to care.
I did notice they reused the same shot twice, where you see the robot laying in the river with the camera like spinning out. You see that shot a second. I don't know, maybe they did cut a scene or something. Who knows?
And just padding out time.
Yeah.
Possible.
Hmm.
Oh well, still
yeah.
fun episode.
Even mentioned like a few jokes in there actually got a bit of a chuckle out of me. Like the one near the beginning of where Manic's saying, "Are you sure you activated those fuses?" And then kaboom, and then Sonic's like, I can't remember. Do you want me to go back and check? It's just like,
Yeah, that was good.
I love how dramatic it also looks. Like the whole buildings are red from the flames and all that big smoke. It's like I really hope it wasn't at a Robotnik factory.
yeah. And of course it turned Sonia's head completely pink.
Of course.
Like, got sunburned, yeah. Or scorched from the explosion, yeah.
Kind of an odd sort of like pose Manic is doing there. It's like going, "Ooh."
Yeah.
What are you doing, Manic?
You know, I think this episode would have been a much better choice for them to do bluegrass than the race episode.
Probably. Well, still the music in this episode was pretty awesome too. But that's for later.
Yeah, it was dueling banjo style song. It was still pretty cool.
Yeah, that was interesting. When the song started, it was just Sonic and Sonya playing. And I thought, oh, this is the first time it's just instrumental. But then, nope, they break out into song. Like, oh, okay, standard hillbilly country song. Yeah,
because we paid these actors to sing, we gotta make them sing.
Yeah,
especially Mannix.
Yeah. It's like, can we just have at least one song without them singing? No, we gotta have them sing.
Yeah, on contract, every episode must have a song.
Exactly.
Even if it doesn't make sense. Yeah.
Especially since the songs are always used for the big moral of the episode. So you have to preach that into your head. But that's got to be more fun in the next episode, where the moral doesn't make any sense or it doesn't fit with the rest of the episode. But yeah, that's for the next episode. Do we have anything left to say about our angry hillbillies?
Nothing on my notes. No.
No, I guess I wouldn't be too surprised if it finds out that both of these like hillbilly leaders are like voiced by the same guy, because the gal is clearly voiced by a guy.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
We're starting to lose Elise. Oh no.
Oh no!
You laughed too much again. She's suffering from it.
I'm sorry.
But what a perfect picture to end off of, at least. Just, like, just look how way out of it they are.
Yeah.
They're just like,
the face of true love.
I'm sorry, they all look high.
Far out, man.
Yeah, you've been drinking too much moonshine, boy. It's like, no, it's them fucking mushrooms, man.
I like me some mushrooms.
Good times.
Poor Elise.
Shall we move on to the next
weekly
episode?
allowance of laughter? But yeah, we can move on if no one else has anything to say.
Or do we need to give Elise some more time to recover?
Okay, let's go.
I say we can move on.
Yeah.
Alrighty, time for the preview of the next episode.
Yes.
Hairdressers in space.
Aircraft.
Is this the real life? Is this just fantasy? Caught in a landslide.
I was indeed mismaking a silly title. Thanks for ruining it. But yeah, Salah's big moment. He prepared ourselves a synopsis.
All right.
The video just caught up to the ending gag. It's like, oh wow, I did not. Unexpected but hilarious.
You thank Euan for that. Yeah, he gave us an extra joke.
I just have to.
Very nice.
Alrighty then. So our story begins with Queen Elena warning about the dangers of lowering your guard for even a second. You must be paranoid at all times. We are introduced to Doobot, a hairstyling robot that works at the Perminator Salon, where their slogan is "Hasta la vista, baby." Doobot begins gossiping with one of her customers, but then begins hypnotizing her into telling her gossip about Robotnik specifically. Sleet and Dingo sneak in behind the customer as she leaves and corner Doobot in the storage room. Doobot actually seems surprised to see them and struggles as they hold her and power her down. Sleet opens her chest plate up and uses a special key to unlock and remove a cassette tape before replacing it with a blank one. They then stand her back up and leave, with Doobot seeming completely unfazed by the ordeal and quickly goes back to work. Meanwhile, at the new Rebel base, Sonya is trying to do her hair, which I'm sure is not foreshadowing at all. She's getting fed up with Manic making a ton of noise as she's using soda cans as hair rollers. One of the cans was open, and she angrily yells at Sonic for leaving it laying around, even though she definitely should have noticed, so honestly that's on her. Later, Sonic is using Sonia's hairdryer as a makeshift microwave. Sonic tries to turn up the heat, but it shorts out and explodes the chili dog. Manic comes in and saves Sonic from being strangled. Sonia then sees an ad in a magazine for Perminator Salon and decides she deserves to treat herself. She puts on a disguise and heads to the salon and gets there just as the most important character is leaving. Doobot asks Sonia about the Tex-Mex mousse in her hair before offering some aromatherapy and an aura massage, whatever that is. She then asks Sonia about the cause of her stress, causing Sonia to reveal the new rebel base is cramped and dirty. Doobot inquires further about the rebel base, causing Sonia to reveal its location. Meanwhile, Robotnik is listening to tapes taken from Doobot, where he hears a posh man talking about how funny it is whenever Robotnik says excellent, and suspects it's the only superlative he knows. Robotnik is furious and demands this man be roboticized. He also reveals that it was indeed him who built Doobot, meaning Robotnik had to sit at a computer and program a robot that can style hair, administer spa treatments, and gossip with customers. Robotnik then orders Sleet and Dingo to pick up the next tape from Doobot, even though he's barely finished the last one, making me wonder if the salon is really that popular, and there's already another tape already, or if Robotnik is just addicted to hearing these tapes. Sleet promises that it will be his pleasure to get the next tape, and Robotnik stops himself from replying, excellent. Meanwhile, Doobot is just finishing up with Sonia, who looks completely normal now. But before she can even get her receipt, Sleet comes in from the street, but is no longer discreet, which is neat. He also brought a SWATbot fleet, causing the petite hedgehog to try and retreat from the heat. Dingo tries to compete with his feet, but instead he meets with Sonia's feet, causing him to fall on the seat, and the Doobot launches him up with a yeet.
Well, rhyme, poetry.
Sonia asks why they're after Doobot, and she has no idea. Sonia uses a shower head to destroy a SWATbot before getting confronted by Sleet as we cut to commercial. After the break, Sonia immediately jumps over him without effort, so there was really no build up there. She pulls out her keyboard gun and rather than shoot Sleet himself, shoots all of the hair products on the shelf behind him. And he does absolutely nothing to get out of the way of the slow tidal wave of suds. Sonia notices the Doobot is then gone. Later, Sonia is contacted by our goodest boy, Bartleby, with important information. He shows her the PSA sent out by Sleet and Dingo about the dangers of the Doobot. Dingo lets it slip that they were trying to get a tape from her, causing Bartleby to realize that the Doobot has been recording her conversations with customers, and also remembers the kinds of things he's told her. He tells Sonia that people have been disappearing and is now concerned for his safety. Sonia realizes that she told the Doobot about the location of the rebel base, and immediately thinks that Sonic and Manic would hold it against her, which I'm sure won't cause problems later. Sonia tells her brothers only about the disappearances and the Doobot's involvements, but Sonic and Manic aren't too concerned about, let me check my notes here. Ah yes, innocent people being roboticized for things they've said while under hypnosis. Manic uses the opportunity to plug his new track about gossip, with Sonic and even Sonia joining in, because we have literally nothing better to do right now. After the song, Sonia immediately goes back to being depressed and even starts crying. Sonic and Manic realize how important this is to Sonia and promise to help her. Keep that in mind. Suddenly, the Doobot arrives. She had tracked down the scent of one of her products she uses, knowing that meant one of her customers was nearby. She immediately starts flirting with Manic and then hypnotizes him into telling her more about him. Sonic finds this odd, but it attributes to Manic being dropped on his head. A lot, apparently. Doobot then hypnotizes Sonic as well, and it's only at this point that Sonia realizes what it's doing. So now that Sonic and Manic have both experienced themselves how good Doobot is at getting information out of people, you would think Sonia would realize that they wouldn't blame her for revealing the location of their base, but she still decides to keep that a secret for no reason. Sonia then opens Doobot's chest plate, revealing the tape recorder, which Sonia misidentifies as a tape player. She tries to remove it, but leave it to Manic to use a superpower to pick the lock, and it didn't work! Manic gets zapped and completely fries his hair. Doobot apologizes and promises to fix it. Sonia reveals that Bartleby knows a bot expert, even though Manic himself knows a guy who can disable the booby traps, but I guess we'll go with Bartleby's guy. Sonic comments on the Doobot's odd behavior, and Manic escalates further by saying he wouldn't mind if Robotnik got her back. Sonic and Manic then scheme to have Robotnik take her back, knowingly putting Bartleby's life at risk, and betraying Sonia after promising to help her less than 3 minutes ago.
For no reason other than being petty.
Yep. That night, Sonic and Manic drive the camper van to a gas station they've never gone to before, specifically because they know there's always surveillance spots in the area. Sonic opens the back door of the van for no other reason than to reveal Doobot's location, as if Robotnik suddenly doesn't care about the hedgehogs enough to send SWAT bots to capture them. Robotnik does see the Doobot on the surveillance cameras, and almost exclaims excellence before stopping himself again. He orders them to be followed, and does indeed iterate that he wants the bot specifically, further indicating that he might have actually gotten addicted to these tapes. The Sonic Underground arrive at Bartleby's mansion, but are almost immediately stormed by SWAT bots. Sonic and Manic pull out their instruments in an attempt to make it look like they're genuinely trying to stop the Doobot from getting captured, or at least Sonic does. Manic just sits there. Sonia, who actually is trying, manages to take out most of the SWAT bots herself, but not enough, and the Doobot gets captured. Sonic very sarcastically comforts Sonia, before Sleet and Dingo immediately turn back to pick up Bartleby as if they somehow know he's on the tape. Sonic is still in denial that Bartleby is in danger, but Manic feels guilty and lets it slip that he and Sonic planned this. Sonia wants to be angry, but realizes that she should have been honest the entire time and reveals what she had told the Doobot about the rebel base. Sonic immediately seems unconcerned and takes the siblings to chase after the Scorpion tank. They arrive at the jailhouse where Bartleby is thrown into a cell with some other customers from the salon. Sonia volunteers to rescue him while Sonic and Manic go after the Doobot. Bartleby is not the least bit worried because he believes in Sonia and doesn't even get through talking about it before she arrives. Some SWAT bots approach the cell ready to take the prisoners away, but Sonia welds the door shut with her keyboard. The SWAT bots knock down the door, but the cell is already empty. Sleet and Dingo are trying to get the tape out of this Doobot, but without shutting her down this time for some reason. They manage to get the tape, and Sleet mentions that they could listen to it before Robotnik for some reason, proving that they actually didn't even know Bartleby was on the tape after all. Sonic and Manic cut through the roof, and Sonic Mission Impossible's down to steal the tape, but Sleet shoots the rope, causing Sonic to fall. So Manic jumps down and chucks the huge disc of metal like it's nothing. Doobot prevents Sonic from getting the gun. Robotnik arrives to see absolute chaos going on in this room, but doesn't seem concerned. In fact, he's immediately pleased that he thinks the hedgehogs don't have a way out. The Doobot picks up Sleet's gun and begins shooting SWAT bots, leaving Sonic to shoot at Robotnik, scaring him away. Doobot says that using a gun is just like using a hairdryer, which makes me wonder about how she uses a hairdryer. She tells the hedgehogs to leave her behind, since she is no longer of use to them, but they promise to save her anyway, leaving her speechless, which Manic comments is a first. They meet back up with Sonia as the prisoners hop aboard the camper van. Sonic and the Doobot help Sonia to shoot the SWAT bots, with Sonia asking when the Doobot got all military. Bartleby gets the honor of destroying the tape, but thinks he still has to go into hiding because Robotnik somehow knows what's on that tape he's never heard. But Sonia has a plan. Sleet finds the Doobot in a dumpster, but without the tape. Robotnik yells at her, but she hypnotizes them into forgetting everything they heard on the tape, and Bartleby is saved.
The end. Yeah, I guess Bartleby just goes so often to the hairdresser that he's also on the previous tape. Maybe he goes 5 times a day.
Maybe.
Wouldn't be surprised. I gotta keep up my style, you know.
But man, what an insane episode how assholes Sonic and Manic are in this one. Jeez.
Yeah, especially with the robot, where in some ways it kind of feels like another case of Robotnik just shooting himself in the foot, like, oh, he made the robot to pick up on gossip on how people really think about him and whatnot, and yet the robot has no idea that she was created or is actually working for Robotnik. She's like, oh, just doing this hairstyle thing. Yeah.
I can imagine that Robotnik didn't call a Doobot because he does hairdos. It's because he wants to do it.
Well, I mean, the way she's designed, yeah. I think he definitely had something else on his mind.
Yeah, why is he in a bikini while he's working in the hairdresser's place? Yeah.
Oh, it's a fashion model, yeah.
I have to say, though, Doobot is the ugliest robot I have ever seen in my life.
Really?
Yeah.
At most, I would probably say she looks a bit over the top.
Yeah,
a bit over the top, yeah.
Yeah, she's definitely like. I wonder if like she's supposed to be like a parody of Fran Drescher. Because like the overly done makeup and then the heavy accent, high pitched voice.
Yeah, Nasally New Jersey.
Yeah, the moment I heard her, though, I realized, oh, it's Rebecca from Sad AM.
You actually make me think of the droid diner from Dexter's Diner in Attack of the Clones.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
oh yeah.
That one. That one to see you, sweetie.
I forgot there was a robot there. I always just remember Dexter himself.
Yeah, I remember when I heard what's that, Dubot's voice, and it's like, what? Yeah, Dubot. And I'm like, why does that voice sound so familiar? So I quickly looked up, like, oh, it's Kathleen Barr. She's, I thought I'd heard her voice somewhere, but yeah, she's done quite a lot of voices of other medias. But in terms of Sonic, she's probably best known for being the voice of Mama Robotnik.
Yeah.
And now here she is doing a nasally New Jersey accent with Dubot. Made by Robotnik, who had something else on his mind.
Yeah, how she was downgraded from being the mother to Robotnik and now just being a creation of Robotnik.
How weird things can go. Anyway, I have to say, I kind of like that we got a bit of a scene with Sonic and siblings just at home. The more domestic stuff, like fun to see those details. Usually we never see them in their normal habitat. They're just immediately off to the next mission.
Yeah.
It's kind of fun to get a peek behind the scenes. Of course, they never can get Sonic to do anything other than eat chili dogs. It's literally his only thing to do in his spare time.
Nah, just making a mess of everything.
Yeah, so apparently they can't afford a microwave for some reason. So he just uses Sonya's hairdryer. Yeah.
Maybe they do have a microwave. He just likes being a jerk. He likes improvising.
Yeah. But yeah,
Or he just wants to try out hair-dried cooked hot dogs. Or chili dogs.
Yeah.
There's one moment where, Sonya is like, you got to fight this time, and she reaches for him as if she's about to strangle him, and then Manic walks in.
Yeah.
And they put all the facial expressions like,
yeah.
So I can understand Sonya being angry, but what's wrong with you, Sonic? Why are you going like?
I thought he just looked terrified.
Yeah.
Hard to tell. Just the fact they both look the same.
Yeah.
The expression just like.
It is weird that Dubot was specifically built to gather information, but it doesn't know this, and so it doesn't recognize Sleet and Dingo, and it panics whenever they show up, which sounds like it would make the data collection even harder. Because she even calls out for police. What if the police actually show up?
Yeah. Yeah, so again, it's just Robotnik shooting himself in the foot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also interesting that the first time the Sleet Dingo actually show up when it's deserted. The second time when everyone is there, that also ruins their plan, doesn't it? So now everyone is aware of it.
Yeah.
They do right in the open.
Yeah, that's the thing. They do sneak in the first time to get it, and the second time they just walk in with an army of SWAT bots behind them and cause a scene.
Yeah.
I also find it very funny, even though this is a world with advanced technology and robots, they still use cassette players.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
You can tell this was a cartoon made in the 90s, where everyone still used cassettes and that.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we all listen to music on cassettes, which was the style at the time.
Exactly, boy. I used to walk around with something called a Walkman.
That's always funny when it takes place in the future, but still kind of see what year it was actually made. Just like with Star Wars, where all the old computers are still black and white and all that.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Oh man, I love examples of that. The most extreme one is some drawing someone made so many years ago, before the car was invented. Someone made a futuristic sci-fi drawing of a mechanical horse.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, now if only flying cars are still a real thing, because I'm with how often that was done in the old cartoons, oh, the future, we're gonna have flying cars, and yet here we are in 2024, and that's never happened.
Yep.
Yeah. Almost 9 years after Back to the Future Part 2.
Oh, jeez. Yeah.
And we still don't have Jaws 93. That's the biggest shame.
Yeah.
I want my 90 Jaws sequels.
Oh well, the shark would have still looked faked anyway.
That's the appeal.
I did like Robotnik getting self-conscious over his use of the word excellent, just because one guy.
Yeah. He has to constantly change
Wasn't that
it
from
up.
Bartleby?
No, it wasn't Bartleby.
Yeah, I think it was someone else. But yeah, it's just so funny. He's like,
Sure
so.
it was Bartleby who said
It was not
every time I hear
Bartleby.
the word excellent, I can't help but force myself not to laugh.
Well, all these aristocrats all sound the same.
Yeah, pretty much.
Similar accent, but it was not Bartleby's voice.
Yeah. So yeah, Robotnik gets hung up. It's like, oh, I gotta say something different. Like, very good. Blah, blah, blah. It's like, no, it doesn't work. I mean, come on. If it works for Mr. Burns, I'm sure it can be fine with Robotnik.
Yeah. But yeah, the concept art for Robotnik, the one on the left, is a clear, obvious of like how he feels when the cameras aren't on him when he walks out. It's like, excellent, good. Walks off like, I better like saying excellent.
Yeah. We lost Luke.
Yep.
Oh no.
Oh no. She's been taken by a Doobot.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
So, Lukey, how you doing?
Oh, I'm doing fine, thank you. Well,
Yeah, she like turns on the hypnosis and starts trash talking about all of us.
or just says in a very sarcastic way, it's like, you know, my mate Roger here, he's incredibly brave. And he's just got tons and tons of girlfriends.
And he's got a mansion, and
But I think this episode also shows how immature the dictators are, because they can't take even a single criticism about themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To be fair, he did learn and didn't say excellent again, so he does take on some criticism. Give him some credit.
Yes, that's Midge.
Yeah. Yeah, the one piece of actual brain power, because it feels like in this episode everyone's just an idiot. Like, aside from Robotnik, the whole deal with like Sonya is like, oh, I got soda cans in my hair, because apparently she mistook that for hair curlers, and I'm like, dude, if they sound like they have liquid in it, that's your own fault. That should have been a big clue that they're clearly not hair curlers.
Here's the thing: is like she wasn't upset that like that she was using soda cans. She was upset that one of them was empty. So clearly she just doesn't have hair rollers and was making do without them. Well, like, still, she should have noticed one was open, because that's a pretty obvious thing.
Especially if you're splishy splashing.
Yeah, and like a sealed soda can is much firmer than an open one. So like, she should have known by feel, if nothing else.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's her fault.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was just so irritated. Sorry, yeah. She was just super irritated by Manic to pay attention, I guess.
Yeah. It's just so weird that like Sonic and Manic went from like, oh, if it's that important to you, sister, we'll help you out, to fuck this robot so quickly.
Yeah.
I think that was more Sonic, though.
Yeah, probably.
Because Manic showed he was sort of against it, but then Sonic is just like, nah, let's get rid of this thing.
Manic was the one who suggested, like, oh man, I wouldn't mind if this robot got sent back to Robotnik.
Okay, he did say that, but then Sonic was the one who actually formulated the plan.
Yeah.
And Manic was all too happy to go with it.
That's true.
Yeah, which is really... Yeah, which is really weird, because like when Manic first sees the robot, he kind of acts like he actually has a thing for her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she flirts with him as well.
Yeah.
I guess he go really
Manic is
learned,
canonically handsome.
Yeah, who's this handsome hedgehog? Yeah.
But yeah, it's such a weird idea that the whole plan, their big plan of this episode is actually to get innocent people hurt. Or actually, like, doomed to turn into robots. It's such a dark, weird twist. Like, what?
Yeah.
She's like, he shouldn't gossip behind people's back. They're under hypnosis.
Besides, you're gossiping about Robotnik. Why are you so upset about it? Shouldn't you like the fact they're gossiping about Robotnik?
Yeah, definitely a muddled moral in this episode.
And all it took for Sonic and Manic to do a 180 on her again was for her to use a gun.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh gosh, she has a gun. Okay, she's cool now.
They're kind of shallow, yeah. So this episode is really weird undertones with Sleet and Dingo like going after the Doombot in the back room and all that. Like that feels a little dark for this show. Almost.
Yeah.
Especially considering the fact where the tape is hidden.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Chest part. That is.
Yeah. It's molesting time.
Yeah, speaking of Sleet and Dingo, I forgot to mention this in the last episode, but their plan was to capture the hedgehogs when they're trying to destroy the dam, and their plan was that they were going to capture them first, then tell Robotnik, then make Robotnik pay them a large sum of money so they could retire. And Sleet's definition of retire is having Dingo wait on him hand and foot, and Dingo is apparently okay with that.
Poor Dingo, yeah.
Poor oblivious Dingo.
Although, we'll have to be honest, though, I had a bit of a hard time trying to hear what the Doobot was saying at that one point. Welcome back, Luke.
Hi, Luke.
When the Doobot was saying, like, who's this handsome hedgehog? But apparently I had a hard time actually hearing it for some reason. So I don't know why. I mean, I'm not saying she actually said it, but how it just sounded for me. It's like where she said, "Who's this handsome young fuck?" I'm just like, what? I'm just like, what?
She said
what?
She
I
said
know.
She said young buck.
Yeah, I know that's the thing, but it's just but it's just like for some reason the audio just kind of like wasn't working properly for that one specific moment, so I had a hard time trying to fully decipher what she was actually saying. So when I first heard it, I assume she said like fuck, I was like, wait, what? And I kept replaying it over and over, but yet I still had a hard time trying to decipher what it was she was actually saying. To the point I'm just like, well, I know she's not saying the F word, but what exactly is she saying?
Well, I mean, Manic did suddenly have a thing for her, so...
Anyway, Luke, what are your thoughts on this episode, since you didn't get much of a chance to talk yet?
Interesting idea of like who to trust, really, because this is like very evident in like during wartime, where you have to be very careful of what you say, because the people that you're with might be like a spy or something. One of my favourite bits in the episode is where Sonya has to fight off the SWAT bots, because it's nice to get some like focus on Sonya or Manic instead of just Sonic all the time. And also, there is one bit at the very end where the bad guys get hypnotized into forgetting everything. And I thought, like, if Doobot could actually hypnotize them into saying or doing anything, she should have hypnotized them to saying, like, oh, we will remove ourselves from power and give Mobius back to the hedgehogs, and series over, hooray!
That's a good point. That's another point where they could have solved the entire series, but didn't do it for some reason.
If the hypnosis can erase memories, surely it can implant ideas into their heads.
Or basically just gave them a brain enema. So they basically just don't remember anything about themselves or how to even breathe. And thus, hooray, the hedgehogs have got their throne back.
You could have hypnotized them to walk into a jail cell. Could have done anything.
Exactly. Anything, but they decided not to, so...
Just the status quo back,
Love the expressions in there, because there was one where Sonic got hypnotized and he looks way out of his mind, like, whoa, I'm hipping the gangs, man.
That's why you gave him a spleef.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just like, whoa, dude, far out.
I'm totally reaching for the stars tonight.
Sonic, are you sipping on too much moonshine again?
No, sis, it's not the moonshine. It's just spleef. You gotta try
it. You are running around at the speed of light. Speed of sound, man.
Yeah. I mean, even his eyes, of course, indicate like he's tripping on something bad.
Yeah.
I'm known for my speed.
I also
kind of-
Which speed?
It's kind of weird. It's only like Sonic and Manic that have that kind of stone expression, while everyone has those standard hypnotized eyes.
Yeah.
I also gotta love Sleet's face when he looks up and runs away, because it looks so horribly distorted, like he turns into an Ed Roth character.
Yeah. Stretching like, like, you alright, Sleet?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What did the do boss crushing your hand basically made your face distort?
Got some beautiful faces these 2 episodes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually,
But the king of
Including the
faces remains
Robotnik.
Robotnik.
yeah, going through like multiple like emotions at one point, like frustration, then surprise, and then screaming for his life.
There's like one scene that can easily be taken out of context. Like Robotnik's walking and he's like, "Oh shit, I left the oven on," and then runs back.
Yeah. I mean, it could be applied to anything.
Yeah. I mean, come on, people. This is prime YouTube poop material to work off of. I mean, Sonic Underground in general is prime YouTube poop material, and they're just not doing anything with it.
I also noticed, I think they made a reference to the mask in the music video, with Sonic in a yellow suit wearing a green mask.
Oh, yeah.
Very suspicious, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Smoking.
Wonder if the Mask kids show was still on at the time.
I think it was, yeah, in the late 90s.
Oh man, something about Sonic and Jim Carrey. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll never happen.
As if.
Doesn't work.
Yeah, this mask looks more like that weird horror movie start with the truck from.
Oh yeah, the. I think I know the one. You mean the
Stand late now.
truck with the Green Goblin face on it or something?
Yeah,
Was
that
it?
kind of reminds me of. Like,
Yeah, the Stephen King movie, Maximum Overdrive.
that's the one. Yes. Maybe a combination, Mask and Maximum Overdrive crossover. Why not? Oh well.
And of course, Manic having some, like, the few moments where he was kind of almost being adorable in some ways, like with his laugh when Sonic was like saying, oh, look how she, like, you know, blabbers on. He's like, ha ha.
He has a lot of cute laughs, yeah. I'm sure Elise like that.
Do you approve of Manic's, like, adorable chuckle? Or
Yes, I
do you
do.
think, yeah, as expected. It gets the Elise seal of approval.
Elise does approve.
Elise is actually amused.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, and of course, the awkward sort of moment of when Manic goes to try and help, like, open up the little cage covering the tape cassette on Doobot. But yet, when you look at the other angle, when Manic's getting shocked, it looks as though like he's literally just grabbing a hold of her chest. And apparently, her chest was booby-trapped.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, there it is.
Well, I have to say that at some point.
Yeah, everyone just wants to hit on the robot.
Oh no.
Oh yeah, and then of course Manny gets all singed from the electricity, and I saw someone in the comments point out, "Oh, and then Manny became Surge." And they're like, "Oh yeah, it does kind of look like it."
I like how
Except Manic
because like
is. Wait, where does Medallion go?
oh that's a good point.
question.
Oh, it blew up from the short circuit.
I
Guess we know what a hedgehog skeleton looks like now.
yep.
Yeah, this was way before Sonic Unleashed did it. Haha.
And apparently they have two separate eye sockets, except they have what I like to call lobster eyes.
I guess
Where
it overflows over
Lobster
their
eyes
skull.
are actually connected together.
Yeah.
They also have two nose holes. Yeah. Guess we shouldn't think too much
And I know
about that.
It's like, I don't know if I told you the story, but I know this about the lobsters because I was visiting my relative's house one time, and we were having lobster, and it's like for the kids, it was hot dogs. Well, we had this one kid who was a friend of the family. He didn't finish his hot dog, so one of my aunts, of all people, decided, hey, wouldn't it be funny if we took the eyes of the lobster and stuck them in the hot dog, and then say like we found it like this when his mom came to pick him up. and so I don't know why, but then she took the lobster eyes out of the lobster, and we found out that lobster eyes are connected. So
Weird.
That's
I have no idea why someone decided to do that, but it was absolutely hilarious.
all right. I did not know
wrong
that.
with my hot dog. It's got eyes.
So that's my little random story for the day.
I like the little detail that because like Manic's head turns black when he gets singed, the outline turns green instead.
That's
yeah.
detail, yeah.
Yeah.
I like that.
Mm-hmm.
They put some thought into it.
Because like normally when something is black, their outline becomes white, like with Daffy Duck or something.
Yeah.
But they used green for this, which is it looked good.
Yeah.
It looks good for Manic.
Yeah. And imagine this was like Manic's early days of trying to be Shadow, but he never got the part.
They were worried about blackface, I guess.
Probably.
Ooh.
Oh.
Sorry, someone had to make that joke.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's
Well, at least
move
you
on.
made it.
Did they really?
Yeah, did you really?
It's hard to
Yeah.
say.
All right, I retract it. I'm sorry.
I mean, I would say he's got like a black hairdo now.
Yeah.
There you go.
He's been using too much grease in his hair. Yeah.
Oh yeah, one thing I might as well like notice is like when Sonia goes to Bartleby's and he's like, "Come, Sonia, I've got something to show you." But yet, when he goes along, he's like all cheerful and smiley as opposed to being like concerned. He's like, "Oh, I got Sonia in here. I'm going to show her my new TV." Click.
Yeah,
And then just points out the bad news. He's like,
They always have that weird problem in the show, yeah, that people like smiling when that's like their default face expression, even when it doesn't make sense in context.
Oh, I just want to point out that I loved the scene on TV with Sleet and Dingo on TV because it reminds me of those commercials you have in America where you have like a random guy telling you stuff, like a lawyer or something, and then at the very end, Dingo just blurts out what they're doing, what they wanted.
Oh, right,
Yeah.
What, so basically just like the guy simply just saying all the sort of like product and stuff, and then you got like the second guy that just suddenly comes in and just speaks stupendously fast about all the side effects or consequences and such.
Yeah.
And also, there's a blank screen behind them. Like they just what I don't know if they just got like their own camera or their own backdrop or they just invaded like a TV studio or something.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah. Also quite a sort of a strange sort of painting that Barbie has behind the TV.
Oh yeah.
It's kind of awkward, yeah.
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 A mixture of a butt and also Charlie Brown's head.
Sure, let's go with
You're a
that.
butthead, Charlie Brown.
Oh,
There you
good
go.
grief.
You butthead, Charlie Brown.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like Bartleby coming in clutch this episode.
Yeah, he's pretty
Yeah.
good in this episode, yeah.
Yeah.
And then when he
getting-
is captured to be roboticized, he tells all the others who are, so like, "Don't worry, I can always count on my Sonya."
Yeah,
Yeah.
he believes in her. I love that.
Yeah. Speaking of Sonya, like before that, there was that whole scene where she's like firing off the piano, and then there's this one shot where it looks like she's so pissed off and really going gun ho. Like I don't know, I think it's because of the hair. It looks much more frazzled than it usually does. It's like those bastards messed up my hair for the last time.
Reenacting the Spaceball sequence.
Yeah.
Going all Rambo.
What was that?
Yeah.
The same as going all Rambo.
Yeah.
Rambo Commando, Rambo Commando, Rambo Commando.
It's our big
Oh, yeah.
episode.
Rambo Commando.
But right, so the whole hairdresser salon was a reference to Arnold Schwarzenegger. That kind of got me off surprise. He suddenly started talking like Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of random.
Yeah.
Hasta la vista.
It's the 90s. Gotta throw in a Terminator reference.
For the kiddies, yeah.
I love it though. Perminator salon.
Yeah.
That's a good pun. Right, anything else to say, or shall we move on to the songs? Because I'm feeling a lack of energy.
And I guess one last thing I had to bring up was it when like Sleet drops the tape and whatnot, and he like looks over and he has like white eyes instead of the usual colored ones. It just looks so off.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, Sleet suddenly dropped his eye contacts.
No, my jaundice is cured.
Have you brought up the moment like after they finished the song, Sonya went back to being sad?
I think we did.
Oh,
Yeah. No, we did forget that.
we didn't really say explicitly, no.
Yeah.
I did say that in the synopsis, but yeah, it was silly because like she's all worried, and then they sing a song together, and then she goes back to being worried.
It doesn't make sense for her to sing that song anyway, because the whole song is about, my friends are gonna be roboticized, la 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 la. They deserve it. Oh wait, they don't deserve it. Now I'm sad.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
But it's kind of also noticeable that like Manic pointed out like that he made up a song himself, but yet apparently Sonic and Sonya know the words to it along with the tune. So it's like,
I guess Manic is such a predictable. Manic is such a predictable songwriter that just immediately know what he's gonna write. It's like, oh.
This was something that like they proved in the first episode. Is like they performed Someday together, even though they weren't even like near each other, and hadn't even met each other. And like it's not like musical magic thing where like a song happens. Like it was canon because like as soon as the song ends, Manic and Sonya are like, oh, what the hell was that? So like this is just an ability they have, is like they can like sing songs together even if like only one of them knows the words.
That's an interesting idea, yeah. That sounds like parody material. They can force a disleted dingo robotic to sing along. The possibilities.
Possibilities.
Indeed. But it's a time for Mobius Idol now.
I think it is.
Mobius Idol.
Oh dear. We're gonna judge the two songs. Alrighty, starting with Country Crisis, How to Play the Game. Is everyone ready?
Play the game.
Is everyone ready? Yeah?
Ready.
Countdown begins in 3, 2, 1.
Chili dogs than anyone alive. But you can't hold a candle to my fashionable designs. Hey, we should try to beat robots, not each other. We worry too much about winning, and that's a shame. It's not who wins or loses, it's how we play the game. Working as a team, we've got so much on the ball. I know that we can surely beat them all. It's not who wins or loses, it's how you play the game.
Yeehaw.
Yeehaw, indeed. Alrighty then.
Southern catchphrase.
Yeah. Oh.
Weehaw!
There it is. Yeah.
Alrighty, let's start with Melty, since you're talking anyway. What's your ranking of the song?
All right, so yeah, it was interesting. I did mention before how it starts off with just the music, and I thought, oh, they're gonna just do the music. It's like, oh nope, there's a song, yeah. But yeah, it's interesting. Like, I know some people aren't that big in a country song, but me, it's like, I find it all right. So yeah, this one thing, yeah, I can dig to it, and I guess I do kind of find it very interesting. This is a song that's mostly sung by just Sonic and Sonya. Poor Manic doesn't give a singing voice. But yeah, there's definitely two interesting things about the song. One, Sonya's singing voice actually sounds pretty good in that southern accent. And two, this is probably the first time hearing Sonic's singing voice getting a speaking line and not a singing verse. So yeah, overall, I give it a 4. Yeah, it's entertaining, especially from a pretty hilarious episode with the petty feuding with the hillbillies. So yeah, good stuff, especially with Sonya's southern singing voice. Yeah.
Sure. Sala, your thoughts?
All right, so yeah, this one's all right. It's not as good as like the bluegrass song from the racing episode. It's also really short, and like even then it like is instrumental for like several seconds at the beginning. So there's even less singing, and there's no Manic. So I'm gonna have to give this one a 3. Wasn't too impressive.
Dun dun dun. Elise, your thoughts?
I'm also gonna have to give it a 3. It's all right. It's decent, and it is one of the better songs. But I feel like it's a little too short, and yeah, Manic isn't singing. But anyway, also there is that scene where Sonya mentions how her fashion is better than Sonic's, and she is like wearing this horrendous dress.
Yeah.
So I'm like, you're not exactly proving your point, Sonya.
This universe, that is beautiful.
And this is why Tim Burton shouldn't do fashion.
Indeed.
Yeah. But yeah, I give it a 3. It's all right. It's not offensive, or it's inoffensive. It's decent, but it could be better.
Fair enough. I think I'll give it a 4. I like the beginning, especially when they did the more I'm better than you, I did this, like especially since they get more like talking, singing parts, and it's lovely to hear the actual voices just have a sentence like that. But yeah, the rest of the song, the lyrics are kind of boring. Oh, we have to work together, friendship. Like, a little too cheesy for me. But yeah, I love the instruments. The background is great. 4 for me. Luke, your thoughts?
Was going to give it a 5 because I really liked the beginning bit, and I thought the whole song's going to be like that. But then they started singing, so I had to drop it down to a 4. I did find the message a bit strange because it's implying that it doesn't matter if you win a war or rebellion; it's how you play the game. But I guess it's probably better than we win this war fight not by hating by what we hate, but saying what we love.
Yeah.
Let's go with that. Yeah, even though that was not a popular sentence in that Star Wars movie. Anyway, Euan, your thoughts?
I think I'll probably give it a 4 as well, because I did like the overall tune to it, and obviously Sonya does a good southern accent sort of voice to her singing, as well as Sonic getting the odd line in there. But yeah, but of course it could have been a bit higher, but as we all know, and Manic's not like singing, so naturally it just gets a low score of 4.
Yeah.
That's always damaging. Yeah. Alrighty.
Yes.
Still not a bad score in total. So
Yes.
the song.
22, our first 22.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Moving on to Haircraft in Flight. Don't be a backstabber. With 90 Sonic right there. Everyone ready?
Ready.
Yep, I'm ready.
So 3, 2, 1, and go.
Don't be a backstabber, 'cause words can come back to bite ya.
Yay. Yeah. Right, let's go backwards. Euan, you first. What do you think?
I actually enjoyed like the beat to it, especially like that sort of like deep, sort of like almost booming bass sort of moment when they started singing. I thought that was pretty good. But yeah, I think I've all enjoyed it, and I think I'll give it a 4.
Alrighty. Luke, your thoughts?
Give it a 3. I mean, the music, the song's okay. I mean, it's a very condescending message, like, don't be a backstabber, I'll know where you live. I also, I do like they got the 90s imagery as well. But I thought, especially the mask reference, but I thought it was okay.
It's a very 90s song, yeah. I'll give it a 3. I love the instruments because it kind of reminds me of 90s stuff, like old PC games and all that. This very fake sounding to it, which I kind of like. And the only other thing I like is how sarcastic the song almost is and how it doesn't fit with the story. Because again, there's poor people who are hypnotized against their will, and Sonic being all like condescending, like, oh, don't be backstabber, even though they're stabbing in the back robotic, so why does he even care? So this doesn't make sense, which makes me laugh. But yeah, it's a very condescending song, and it's kind of irritating, so a 3. Elise, your thoughts?
Okay, I actually give this one a 4, because I kind of like the beat of the song, and it does hold an element of truth to it where, rumors and gossip can come back to bite you.
True.
I've seen situations all too often where that happens, so... and especially, I think, now in the day and age with social media, where people just can speak their minds.
Yeah, that's a good point. And of course, Manic wrote the song, so that gives you extra points.
Yeah, that's true.
Alrighty, Sana, your thoughts?
So yeah, the message in general is good. Not really good for the situation that they're in, but and the music style is very dated. This is so 90s. Which isn't bad, but it's pretty dated. Mm-hmm. So and again, the context just absolutely ruins it. So I'll also give it a 3.
Alrighty, Melty, can you save this song or ruin it further?
That's probably going to be the latter, because I'd give it a 2.
Oof.
Yes, I don't know. The song just didn't really do much for me, and I guess it's because random placements, like oh, I made a song, and then they suddenly burst into singing, and then it suddenly goes back to quad. So it's weird. And yeah, the whole song's good moral and all, but it doesn't quite work with this episode. With the whole oh, they're don't be a backstabber. Yeah, even though they're all clearly under hypnosis.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. In some ways, it kind of feels like the song is, I don't know if it's just me, but it kind of just feels like the song is a bit slow. But yeah, I don't know. Didn't really care for this one.
Yeah. Yeah, I forgot about the whole hypnosis thing, but it's that is, it is a different story, but, it's I think, but when I take it, when it's out of context, I think out of context, then I think it works better.
That's
It's one of those songs that actually works better out of context.
I guess it's kind of unfair to judge a song on the context in the episode, but yet it kind of does. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh well.
So I think it gets 19 points.
Still not too bad, I suppose.
So it's joint alongside with Part of the Problem, the We Are Sonic Underground, aka the Mummy Rap, and Take a Chance. I think that's another one. No, just that one as well. Take a Chance.
I guess that's just the score songs get when they get very preachy. Hence a perfect picture of Sonic here wagging his finger.
Being a backstabber is part of the problem.
There you go.
So take a chance.
Take a chance to say the truth.
Yeah. Or else you're part of the problem.
There you go.
We're suddenly bringing
That
back
song
the
has left a meme in this group.
Pretty much. Our own personal little meme, because I doubt it's going to catch on with the rest of the internet.
I doubt it, yeah. Oh well.
Well. It makes it all the more special, you know?
It sure does. So, we can finally move to Fleetway. I'm going to do Sonic's story as the last, since that's the most climactic one. Starting with...
build up to it.
Indeed, because we're building up towards the big climax.
Yeah, very climactic, these couple issues.
They certainly are. And we're starting with Knuckles' victims. Luke, you wanted to do the honors?
Yes, I want to do this one.
Alrighty.
Okay. In this story, Knuckles finally arrives home to the floating island on his pterodactyl. With the ancient documents in the chest and all the shit he went through, he can now repair the ancient computer systems in the Emerald Chamber. He pays a visit to the Emerald Hill Zone first and found that everything is deserted. All the homes are smashed in and the villagers are gone. He rushes back to the Emerald Chamber to see if he can find answers there, not knowing he is being watched. Back in the Emerald Chamber, Knuckles unloads the chest and sees if he can get the scanners working to find the Emerald Hill villagers, but he is not alone. Knuckles chases after the intruder, thinking that they have something to do with Knuckles chases after the intruder, thinking they have something to do with the disappearances. After tackling the intruder, it turns out to be Porky Lewis. Porker explains that the reason he ran away is that he thought Knuckles was one of the kidnappers. All the Emerald Hill folk were taken away in the night. Porker escapes via the tunnel systems. He was about to contact the special zone when Knuckles turned up. Porker and Knuckles talk to Charmy B about Sonic as they need him. As Porker is about to tell Sonic what is going on, someone shoots the computer, destroying it. Knuckles and Porker turn around and saw that they have been discovered by Dr. Robotnik, but he is not alone. Not only that a group of Island Robot Sentinels are with him, but they are joined by Dr. Zachary, who is not only alive, but now a cyborg. With Knuckles and Porker being taken as prisoner, Dr. Zachary explains how he survived. As he fell to his doom back in issue 65, he grabbed onto the robot's body and manually operates the flight system to survive, but one of the rings was damaged and he crashes into a lake. Two of the SWAT bots found Zachary's broken body, and with Robotnik's help, he was revived with robotic implants. Zachary is more machine now than a kidna. In return, Zachary tells Robotnik where the Emerald Hill folk were hidden. Knuckles asks what they have done with the villagers. Robotnik shows them a huge egg-shaped building. As Robotnik opens the door, the Omnivore appears behind them. Robotnik then shows Knuckles and Porker that all the Emerald Hill folk are attached to a huge egg with devices on their heads. Robotnik tells Knuckles that he is using the Emerald Hill folk as batteries to power his huge biological computer, and to see if he could run Doom off it. Instead of microchips, Robotnik is going to run the computer off the power of living brains. As Robotnik is about to pull the lever, the Omnivore goes off to warn Sonic. But before he does that, he hooks Knuckles and Porker up to the computer so he can turn their brains into batteries to power his Skyrim sex mods. As Robotnik is about to pull the switch, Knuckles breaks out the computer. Knuckles destroys the computer, then Dr. Zerky sends a robot after Knuckles who just slaps him around a bit. Robotnik gets out a backup panel. If Knuckles doesn't stop him, the Emerald Hill folk will end up powering Robotnik's Minecraft server. Knuckles fights the robots as Zachary tells him he's doomed. Zachary tells Knuckles where he got the robots from, saying he found them in a secret place on the island that only he knows about it. He hacked them to follow his orders and make him their unstoppable slaves. But as Zachary was monologuing, Knuckles gives the robots the slip and makes a run for it. He ought to take some lessons from Syndrome. As Robotnik got the backup computer up and running, Knuckles goes in for the attack. But Zachary stops him with a well-aimed blast. It seems all is lost. But then Zachary and Robotnik look up in the sky to see a giant bright light.
Dun dun dun.
Dun dun dun. Oh, I wonder what that could be.
Yeah. Oh my god, it's the sun!
But first, Euan, do you want to show off?
Suppose so, yeah. Because I did send over the pictures in question. Because because I was able to get one of the original pages from this story, being the one of where what's it called? The one where Robotnik says like he found Zachary and basically turned into a cyborg, and in return Zachary revealed the location of the Emerald Hill folk, and thus being taken to his like Robotnik's fortress, I suppose, temporary fortress.
With the zoomed in eye of Zachary's eye. Yeah, because that was a really cool shot. It showed how he's now he's like a Borg.
And Euan is actually hiding in his bedroom, or he could have. He could do it.
Well, probably, but I'd rather make sure that I hang it up in a good spot where it doesn't get much sunlight, because I don't want it to get any sort of yellowed and such.
So that's the perfect time.
Yeah, frame it up on a wall. Yeah, that's pretty much what I did. That's pretty much. Yeah, that's pretty much what I did when I decided to get my hands on the very first Archie Sonic comic, or what's technically the first. But yeah.
Hey, you even have an autograph, although let's not start about that before Sala and everyone starts showing off all
I don't have it. No, I don't have it autographed. No, it's just in its case.
All right.
Yeah, there is a reason why I wanted to do this story specifically. Is because I remember reading the scans online a very long time ago, and being I was quite young at the time, I started to like muck around a bit and decided to change all their dialogue to say like naughty words and stuff. Like Knuckles has got like a chest full of like booze and porn, and I made Zachary like Knuckles' angry dad or something. I don't know if I still got those scans because they were on my old computer like years ago, so I don't know if I ever got them backed up or not. But it was something that we all probably did long ago to take comics and change all the dialogue.
How naughty of you, sir, defiling this art.
Oh, I mean, I can imagine like Luke, of course, doing that, but like trying to swap out all the words just so they just make up absolute bollocks.
Yeah, because I think what I did like when they were hooked up, Robotnik's plan was like, I'm gonna fill their brains with my own bodily fluids or something.
Oh God!
Oh
no! Yeah, I could just imagine them being strapped onto those weird visor things. It's like, now I shall force the one. Now I shall make them force them to watch the one thing that will drive them insane: Teletubbies.
Dun, dun, dun.
No.
How evil!
How immature of us to do silly things like that.
Oh, he's gonna make them watch Peppa Pig on repeat.
Oh, that's even
On
worse.
eternal loop.
I will force you to watch a kid's show. It's like, doesn't sound bad. Is it Bluey? No, it's Peppa Pig. No.
Either that or the knockoff version of Bluey.
Oh yeah, weird chinchilla family. Yeah.
Luckily for Knuckles, those shows didn't exist yet. What was that?
Yeah.
I'm going to force you to watch My Little Pony. Oh, that's not too bad. Generation 3!
The 80s show.
Oh, no. No, I mean the 80s show is like okay for its time, but yeah, Generation 3 is definitely the one version that tends to get frowned upon. Which funny enough, that's the only generation of MLP I have yet to see. I've seen everything else.
Yeah, it does not look promising.
Nope.
I do find it funny that when Zachary was telling his backstory, he was like, as he was falling, he grabbed onto the robot, managed to get it fixed, and said, "Okay, I'm fine now." Then suddenly it crashes.
Ah, shit. Yeah.
Okay, I fixed it. I'm gonna make it. Literally just. I fixed it. I'm gonna.
He lost an eye in the process. Well, I mean, it's definitely a lot better than what Archie Sonic did, where, okay, so long story short, there's this character in the comics where, he has an eye patch in later issues, and he explains that he got it after stepping on a landmine, which makes no freaking sense.
I guess shrapnel could have blasted in his eyes, I suppose. That's shrapnel.
So apparently the rest of it was fine except for his eyeball.
And how'd you get that peg leg? Ah, I singed my eyebrows. And what about the hook hand? Cut myself shaving.
I walked into a door.
And where'd you get that stitch on your stomach? Oh, I was sunburned.
Sure, why not?
What happened to your arms? I kicked the door.
Why is there a band-aid on your nose? I decapitated myself. It's just very accident-prone, I guess.
Yeah, your head's gone. Yeah, you know, as you go older, you just find scars sometimes.
Wow, we are really milking this thing.
Yeah, like Monty Python and the Black Knight.
Yeah, why not?
I do want to say I do like the image of Robotnik having a load of people strapped up to a giant machine. I guess it's kind of like Fleetway's version of the egg grapes in Archie, where he got a huge amount of people to roboticize and stuff.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, it wasn't for like roboticizing. It was more of like vaporizing them to make them as like pure energy to fuel his machine. So yeah, a lot more darker than Fleetway.
But it's the same general idea.
Yes.
But yeah. So
Oh, Sylvia had a good one. I stepped on a mine, which didn't go off, but I tripped and fell on my eye on a Lego brick.
There you go.
Yeah, now that's the real backstory of that one guy I mentioned from Archie Sonic.
And I got one. It's a, why are you clutching your head? Because my hand hurts.
What a silly gag. But it's funny.
I think there's actually an old joke like that. It's like, doctor, it hurts here, 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 and here. He's like, your finger's broken.
Oh, this reminds me of an old joke. Like, oh, doctor, I keep hurting my eye every time I take a cup of tea, and the doctor says, "Well, take the spoon out first."
I broke my leg in 3 places. Well, stop going to those places.
Oh.
And that concludes tonight's entry of Comedy Central.
Applause, everyone. But yeah, thanks to Luke. I really want to see a picture of Robotnik just playing PC games while you see that egg with all the people strapped on as the batteries attached to it.
Yeah, he has his huge computer. All he wants to do is just play Worms.
like a Game Boy, like a very old thing.
Or he's playing like Team Fortress 2, and he's like dealing with all like servers that are full of bots. It's like, stupid bots! Why didn't I think of it?
How dark.
I did like, Luke, all of your jokes about what was on the computer.
Well, think about what most PC gamers usually play, like especially Doom, like how you can run Doom off practically everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I think I even heard that you could run Doom on like a pregnancy test device.
Yep.
Yeah.
Congratulations, you got demons.
I feel like I missed something. I have no idea what we're talking about anymore.
Oh my god.
Oh, fuck!
Everyone recovered?
Not unless someone switches Comedy Central to something else. Okay, I'm fine.
Well, we got a lot of mileage out of this comic.
Yeah, that's one hell of a way to milk it one scene.
Good old Dr. Zacharias. I'm sure he can use his cyber eye to play Doom as well. Shall we move on to the next comic?
Undo.
Yeah. Before we start
keep going
yucking
on.
our heads off again.
Probably a good idea.
You okay, Elise?
I'll be okay. Oh,
Then we move to Sonic the Boiling Point. Anyone wants to do a synopsis?
Let's see.
Didn't we skip Doomsday?
No, we'll do Doomsday at the end.
Because it's the most climactic one, I'm saving that for last.
Fair.
So yeah, this is the other one.
Yeah,
This
the
is
short fuse
Boiling Point, the short fuse one. Alright, guess I'll do it. So, Chemical Plant Zone, my favorite zone. All the people are being tortured as usual again, but the freedom fighters are ready to kick some ass. Except Short Fuse is so angry because he sees his rival that he immediately jumps out to betray and causes their entire plan to fall apart. So, what was his name again of his rival? Vermin. So, Short Fuse starts fighting with Vermin because he's completely caught up in his little revenge plot while the other freedom fighters are panicking because their whole plan is falling apart. Just start fighting and shooting. The entire platform the freedom fighters are on is falling apart, and Johnny's about to fall into the boiling pit of boiling toxic. And they desperately need Short Fuse to help out, but he's completely caught up in his little vengeance. So Tills is the only one who can save them, but Amy and Tills are caught by one of the robots, and they can't do anything either. Fortunately, Short Fuse grabs Vermin's swinging whip attack and tosses him into a wall that distracts all the robots so Tills can get away and saves Johnny at the last moment. So the day is saved, the robots flee away randomly, but everyone is so angry at Short Fuse they start yelling at him for almost getting Johnny killed, and he decides to fly off and leave the freedom fighters again. So that was pointless for him to join. So bye-bye Short Fuse, and everyone is depressed. Right. The end. The correct answer to depression, indeed.
Yeah. The last sound that Short Fuse made. Yeah.
I'm believing on this
fly
wonderful
away.
picture of Johnny.
Oh dear.
Gulp, don't remind me. Yeah, awesome artwork. I love the art. Characters are really awesome here.
Yeah, really cool fight between Short Fuse and Vermin.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Every time Johnny specifically is in danger, I get worried.
Especially the final image.
Yeah.
It's like, oh dear, when's my time gonna come?
Well,
And in some ways that ending kind of feels more like the ending kind of feels more like something out of a sitcom. You know, like, oh, don't remind me. Wah, wah. Yeah. Do-do-do-do-do.
Poor
Don't
Johnny.
remind me. And then it just fades out.
I love the panel where Amy yells at Short Fuse and you see her spit. I can imagine her spit going over his farmer.
Yeah, that was a surprising detail, yeah.
Yeah, covers in spit and then he flies off, and that's why he has his hands out like that, because he's blinded by her spit. Ah, shit, the bitch blinded me!
Damn you, woman, I can't see. And then
Feel my way around.
But yeah, kind of rare to see them portray the women so unflattering, I suppose. Just shows how intensely angry she is.
In some ways, it actually does kind of predates Boom Amy, because you know how she could be a bit aggressive sometimes.
But without the spit. But yeah, indeed.
Oh, yeah.
Too hard to animate, probably, for Sonic Boom.
Yeah.
I don't have the budget for spit. Huh.
Now, spit costs like $1,000 per frame. We can't afford that.
That sounds pretty expensive, yeah. You need a lot of frames.
Indeed. But yeah. I might as well mention like the dog there at the start. It looks almost like Richie from the Christmas Story, where he dresses up as Insect Guy and just throws himself out the window. I think his parents have had enough of him, and like as punishment, they sent him to Mobius to be treated to the harsh ways of life, such as child labour.
Yay!
Yay!
No tea breaks.
No tea breaks at all.
Yeah, does kind of look like the kid, just a little older.
Yeah.
It's been 84 years since my parents sent me here.
Time changes quickly. Yeah.
I just realized in the dialogue they're making toxo cubes.
Toxo cubes. What's that?
They're gravy. They're gravy cubes.
Oh.
Over here they're called oxo cubes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So obviously the writer wasn't a huge fan of those Oxo cubes, so that's why he had to make one about them being toxic. And like, if you throw them into the lake, they're going to be very poisonous to the fish.
Well, looking at that first panel with him holding the cubes and that big barrel behind him, it almost looks like he's being forced to like drop them into that thing. It's like, get the tea ready. What about my tea break? You don't get any.
Yeah, because
This is robotics tea.
Yeah, I thought they're giant sugar cubes.
Yeah.
I don't know. For some reason, I just get more sort of a, more of a styrofoam sort of wood, sort of.
Oh yeah.
From it.
Oh, they actually do kind of look like those styrofoam cubes you find at like pool pits and like gymnasiums.
They kind of look very lightweight, yeah. Especially how far they stick out. If they were heavier, they would have tipped over. Then again, physics and Sonic, who knows how it works there. Platforms can fly in the sky. But yeah, not much to say. I love the art.
Yeah. I mean, I was a bit confused. Like, is it inside a factory or is it outside? Because at the start it looks like they're inside, but later on it shows that they're actually outside. So I'm just like, are we inside or outside? What's going on here? or did like Short Fuse and Vermin have such a major fight off camera that they literally destroyed the roof?
No, I think they just made the background blue because they didn't want to draw everything.
Makes sense, but then again, by the final picture, you actually see factories in the distance, so I guess their art's out.
Yeah.
Maybe they just walked out later.
Yeah, maybe it was a budget thing, yeah.
Sure, why not? Oh well. Move on to the next.
I can do this one.
Yeah, Solidarity. Solidarity.
Yeah, Solidarity. Yeah. Alright, first starts off with a Grimer, which is like, the great Robotnik has put me in charge while he's on the floaty islands. Don't expect life to be any easier, haha. Now go make me a sandwich. But yeah, so they're sending out like all these like curfews. It's like, anyone up past 5 is arrested. It's already past 5. And then, alright, you're all are under arrest. So yeah, there's Amy and the Freedom Fighters. It's like, we gotta stop them. So they, they charge in. They whack the SWAT bots, but oh no, they get trapped under the the net that was flung by this other guy. So of course Grimer's enjoying himself with his own power. It's like, this is going splendid. Robotnik will be proud of me. And so the gang are captured, and all the citizens are like, well, we're fucked. But then this random monkey dude is like, oh, come on, like, we gotta work together, haven't you had enough robotics tyranny? Yeah. So they all decide to join together to finally rebel. And then a minute Grimer comes back and he's like, oh shit. Everything's gone to hell, this robot's being destroyed. So, after being rescued by the gang, it's like, he's like, I do like this kind of fighting thing, we're tired of robotics tyranny, so let's all join forces. Freedom for Mobius, power to the people. And that's it.
Huzzah!
Fair enough.
Yeah, I do like this story because it's kind of pretty much like social commentary on police brutality, and especially with the SWAT bot looking like riot police and that, and like you also got people actually causing riots and fighting back against them. This is kind of like how Sonic Forces should pretty much be like, with the citizens actually fighting back.
Yeah, that would have been awesome.
Yeah.
And of course, some of the silly sort of laws they suddenly start implementing right on the spot, like you're not allowed to wear that loud shirt in a public area, or your ears are 2 centimeters too long.
I suppose it's very similar to like how British police often act sometimes. Like, where's your TV license?
Yeah, I was about to say, where's the oil? Where's your license statement?
Where's your ears license?
Where's the ear license?
Yeah, the ear license. Yeah, I'll just say, like, yeah, the riots and whatnot. Well, all I'll say is I'm glad that this particular story didn't come out in 2020, because...
Oh.
Yeah.
A little bit loaded, yeah.
Yeah. Very loaded.
Then again, this is about Robotnik, so gets it all on him.
Yeah. I mean, then again, you know how people viewed, you know... Okay, that's all I'll say before we get too political.
Fair enough.
So they do like the joke of like Grimer, the people are revolting, but they actually stop the punchline from coming out, and they like have like a little editor's note in the bottom. They're like, we're not doing that old joke.
The people are revolting.
People are revolting.
I love how they both look at that panel. They look also confused at it being beaten up. But what's happening to me?
Yeah, including one of them just literally holding his hands up as one of them. This literally just citizens poking him in the chest, like, I surrender.
With just an umbrella.
Yeah, it's all dumbfounded. Yeah, they're all just dumbfounded.
And the trooper is just like, don't. Just getting hit over like a handbag.
Yeah, random people revolting, inconceivable.
I just find it funny how Grimer looks like because he's not like paranoid or like panicking sort of thing, but he's just more sort of like mildly concerned or like mildly surprised, like, oh, people are fighting back. I didn't expect that.
Yeah.
Do like in the first panel, you got this like bear character holding a tiny little mouse character, because I was like always wondered like how the mouse characters would be the size of in like Sonic's world, and also I do like the designs of the citizens as well, to look like something of like Wind in the Willows or something.
Very different art style, yeah.
Yeah, the civilians definitely look very animalistic, which really makes the Sonic characters stand out really bad.
Yeah, especially because Luke, you mentioned the mouse character, and that immediately made me think of Tantrum the mouse from a while back.
Yeah,
how like cartoonish he looked, and like and then there's this mouse. I don't like it. I don't like it when like Archie and Fleetway designed characters that don't look like Sonic characters.
I mean, to be fair to Archie, like in the comics, like much later, the artists would update the characters to make them kind of better fit the Sonic style. But yeah, Fleetway has always just been this weird mishmash of Sonic-looking characters to realistic anthros.
Let's just say they came from a different dimension or something. What does it look?
I have noticed something in the first panel with the mouse character. He does look like of tiny accurate size, but then we get to the right and we see like this female mouse character. She's like the size of an average human person.
Yeah.
Maybe that was his mother.
Maybe the small mouse was just hit by a shrinking ray or something.
Have you seen Stuart?
He's very little.
Yeah, I'm his brother, Hubert.
Sounds like Michael J. Fox, I'm sure.
Huey, Dewey, Louie, and Stewie.
And that's the last one. Where Johnny was about to turn into Stew. But yeah, weird art. Some parts I kind of like, some not. But Freedom Fighters look okay. And of course the SWAT bot looks great when they look confused. Like,
yeah. Kind of like their design of where they basically be given like riot police armor as opposed to just the usual look.
That's a nice touch too, yeah.
Yeah, like out of all the random civilians, I think the ones that really stand out to me is the one donkey lady because just how super realistic she looks like, and the other one is like the silverback gorilla because he's always like hunchback, like oh he's got pants on. I don't know, he just fascinates me.
I do like the sheep commuter.
Oh yeah, the one with the suit.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks like something out of a British children's show. Yeah.
Yeah, and the fact he complains like a British person.
It does make me think of this old British program we used to have called Tales of Aesop, where you got these animal characters all like wooden puppets, and they were all and it was narrated by Tom Baker.
Memory's a bit hazy on that one.
I mean, do you remember that show, Euan?
I don't know. My memory's a bit hazy. I mean, if I saw an image of it, I might. Then it could be a maybe or not.
Okay.
Not such a big Tom Baker fan, then, huh?
Yeah, it's usually based on stories like of Tales of Aesop, but with like modernized anthropomorphic characters.
Hey.
Okay. But yeah, one thing about with Grimer, like in the one of where he gets the word that the troopers have captured 3 of the freedom fighters, and he's like rubbing his hands, and I'm just looking at his eyes, but I'm not sure if they're either like properly closed, like gleefully, or he's got like little black pupils looking to the left, like
oh, like doing the Lenny face.
In a way, yeah.
Yeah, it could work in both ways.
Yeah, Lenny energy.
So gleefully happy.
Actually, that face makes me think of that Tobey Maguire meme face when he in Spider-Man 3. I don't know what it was. It was like he was making that very sly expression.
Yeah, I think I know the one you mean.
I'll have to look that up. I wouldn't notice immediately.
Yeah, I just shared the Lenny face in the live chat if no one's knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Oh,
or rather, if someone doesn't know what I'm talking about.
Oh, that one. Yeah, I didn't know that had a name.
Yep.
I was thinking more of like Lenny from Simpsons.
Lemmy Kilmister.
That's Lemmy, not Lenny.
I did say Lemmy.
Oh, okay.
All right, I have 2 memes up now.
Okay.
Might
awesome.
No, yeah, that one. Like,
yeah.
And there's Lemmy.
Lenny.
Should have put them the other way round so they were looking at each other. It's like,
That is indeed a silly mistake of me. I'm sorry. I'll fix that immediately. And now the world implodes as they stare at each other infinitely.
Yeah, like they've done something very suspicious. Something very cheeky. Like, what have you done? Oh, you know, something very naughty. What about you? The same.
Oh,
let's just say we won't have to worry about the orphans anymore. Because they're all getting adopted.
Hey.
How wholesome. Shall we move to the next story?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
No exits.
I'll do this one.
All right, go ahead.
So the rioting continues, and it is being reported on by Cat Addy, the trapezoidal cat, who interviews Amy Rose, asking if she is the source of the uprising. To which Amy says that there is no source. Everyone's just tired of Robotnik's tyranny. Grimer is absolutely panicking, completely incapable of understanding why people aren't happy to be oppressed slaves. Some more SWAT bots arrive and are expertly dealt with immediately. And so the Johnny Lightfoot strings them up, and the people start using them as a piñata. Acting Tyrant Grimer calls for reinforcements from Badniks, and just a whole bunch of almost game accurate Badniks show up and the tides quickly turn in the robot's favor. And yeah, things are looking not so good when the fucking vermin, the Cybernick, shows up again, and just as everything looks lost, the bright light appears in the sky again. I wonder what that is.
Dun dun dun.
Dun dun dun.
Saving that for last, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, and now for another group of weird-looking characters is, the reporter guy. Crap, what's that? Oh, yeah, Cat Addy, yeah. So weird. Like, the weird thing about this guy is that it pretty much looks like something out of a meme, you know, like the big head and the small face. Yeah.
He's just got a trapezoid for a head, you know, as you do.
And a very tiny face, yeah.
Even as a kid, I always thought that looked a bit off.
Isn't that a reference to a British reporter or something? Because everything is a reference to British culture.
I'm sure it is.
Probably.
Basically, I'm looking at that badger, and he's like, "When am I going to get some mashed potatoes?"
When do we get a beat in some skulls?
Yeah,
just had a quick check, and Cat Addy is named after the British journalist Kate Addy, who is a noted war correspondent.
Oh, okay. Kate Addy?
So, Kate Addy.
Yeah.
So, swap the cat with Kate.
Yeah. So I guess this cat is also a girl, maybe?
Probably.
Yeah, I don't know. It looks male to me.
It does, but
but according to the
we shouldn't assume
Sonic. According to the Sonic Wiki, it says that cat is a female.
Huh.
And then maybe she didn't bother to put any eyeliner on or something.
Maybe she's trans. Who knows? I mean, we got the gay guy in the back with the hat, so.
Hey, what's up?
Yeah, with the nose ring.
Junior.
Yo, some weird looking group of characters there. There's there's like a gay guy, and there's two hippies and a badger. Yeah.
But which one is which?
And there are times when Grimer looks like he's been sucking on a lemon.
Oh yeah. Especially with that recent lemon meme that's been going on Twitter.
Lemon.
Yeah.
Imagine if he had just had a lemon and he's like trying to pull the bad. It's like, thanks, great. Lemon.
Yeah, kind of has that old man mouth to his design. Yeah.
Yeah, because like when he's calling for the bad next, like my teeth.
He's just worried about his hair gel. That's what he's been eating.
Yeah. I forgot to mention that he's worried about his hair gel budget.
Oh yeah.
Gotta keep up that hairstyle of his.
Yep.
Especially
Very
if he's
stylish.
bald at the top.
Yeah, I need to be better and not end up like Snively.
Indeed.
Having more hair than him.
Yeah.
I just find out that Vermin suddenly turns up and is like, wait, didn't we just stop you in the last story or something? Last story? No, well, I'm here now.
He just teleported away.
Yeah.
I thought you were damaged. I got better.
Yeah, it's like, guess who?
Surprise! Yeah, I love their pose at the end. Traditional bad guy, like, oh, I'm gonna grab ya.
I've got grabby hands.
Yeah, grabby hands. Yeah, beware, I'm gonna give you the tickle torture. Haha.
Dun dun dun. It's indeed a tickle pose. But now I guess it's time we actually move on to the main story to see what this is all about.
Climax.
Doomsday. Anyone wants to do this story?
Oh, you mean we're not doing the Sonic SatAM episode?
Nope. That would be a bit out of place now.
Exactly.
Guess Sonic loves Doomsdays. Yeah, Euan? Alright, go ahead.
Yeah, I can do it. I've written it down. In the Eastern District of New Tech City in the Special Zone, Lord Sidewinder is still determined to locate Supersonic and gain control of him to use as his slave, but is struggling to pinpoint his exact location. Meanwhile, on the other side of the city, Sonic and the Chaotix, now cleared of their names from the police off camera, defeat the last of Dr. Plague's goons.
I wouldn't use that phrase, beat off. Sorry. Sorry, couldn't resist. I go ahead.
Yeah. Especially considering the fact you just want to throw in your own innuendos at some point. Anyway. Defeat the last of Dr. Plague's goons when the Doctor himself pops up, says he won't run, and threatens to drop a glass vial of a deadly virus that can wipe out the entire city if anyone takes one step closer to him. Sonic obviously taunts the Doctor by taking a step forward, where the enraged Doctor throws the vial, but Sonic catches it before it breaks. However, Dr. Plague has 8 more vials of the virus and throws them up into the air along with the box, resulting in Sonic running as fast as he can to collect them all. After showing off getting all 8 vials of the virus, Charmy informs Sonic that Porker Lewis is calling him. The Blue Hedgehog answers and sees a distressed Porker asking for his help before he gets cut off. Sonic wants to return back to Mobius to help Porker, but Mighty reminds him that there isn't a way to get back. However, a more pressing issue starts to arise as the citizens point up at the sky to reveal a second sun has appeared, with Mighty explaining that legends say when a second sun appears, it means the end of the world is coming. Charmy doesn't believe the story, but someone confirms the annoying bee that it's the truth. They turn to find the Omniviewers back and bringing bad news to them. All the while, Lord Sidewinder has finally located Supersonic. Back in the city, Sonic and the Chaotix question why the Omniviewer is here and not imprisoning Supersonic, as well as the appearance of a second sun, in which he goes to explain that he had hoped to permanently trap Supersonic forever, but it was too much for him and all he could do was drastically slow down time. Though Super was aware of what was going on and that he was not only very slowly escaping, but that he was trapped in the black asteroid, which once he got free from the Omni, he started to build up the temperature of the asteroid to 1,000,000 degrees, creating a second sun, in which in a few hours would explode, freeing Supersonic. Sonic informs Omniviewer that something big is happening on Mobius and needs to get back, but Vector reminds him that Supersonic is about to be free, though the Blue Hedgehog needs to get back. But the Omniviewer informs them that he barely has enough energy to keep him going. Just then, Lord Sidewinder's lackey, Lightmare, appears. Sonic makes a V-line to this evil person, but he, along with Mighty, get caught by the effects of Lightmare's Nightmare Box. Espio stops Lightmare and takes the box, though they didn't want to fight, but to warn them that Lord Sidewinder has located Supersonic and still believes he can control the crazy yellow hedgehog, but will end up getting himself killed, and as well as the others. Espio questions why Lightmare can't just leave the gang, but Lightmare reveals that she can't leave him because she is Sidewinder's daughter. After a brief talk, Lightmare wants Sonic and the Chaotix to stop Lord Sidewinder while keeping quiet that she revealed them his plans. She leaves as Sonic and the Chaotix go to find Sidewinder, whilst Vector stays with the Omniviewer to help him out. With Lightmare returning to Sidewinder's mansion, the crazy Lord sets his plans into motion as he, Lightmare, Mr. Fry and Biohazard climb aboard the rocket that sends them off into space, with Sidewinder proclaiming that the Special Zone will have a new master and that it'll be him. In the Chaotix mobile, Sonic, Mighty, Espio and Charmy are exploring the Special Zone for Sidewinder, but they can't locate him on the radar, assuming that he must have landed somewhere, so they must hurry and locate him fast. Meanwhile, back in New Tech City, Vector is in a top-secret scientific lab known as Equinox, where he, along with the scientific crocodiles, help make repairs to the Omniviewer, which seem to have worked as the Omni returns from a teleportation trip to Mobius, though having bad news for Sonic. As he is being charged up, one of the scientists has analysed the readings from the black asteroid, revealing it's giving off electromagnetic radiation, where once it explodes, it'll create a massive electromagnetic pulse that will wipe out all the computers and electricity on the whole planet, which isn't good news for everyone. Meanwhile, Lord Sidewinder and his crew have taken up position on an asteroid near the glowing hot black asteroid, though Mr. Fry and Biohazard are having major doubts about Sidewinder's plan to controlling Supersonic with the power of his mind. Just as they are about to have a go at him over the plans, Sonic and the Chaotix arrive to put a stop to them. Sonic, using his speed, causes Mr. Fry to whack Sidewinder into Lightmare, knocking them both out. Sonic with his speed sends Mr. Fry into a spin while Mighty lays out Biohazard, leaving the 4 baddies in a heap on each other. Vector returns with a fully powered up Omniviewer, who tells Sonic that Robotnik has located the Emerald Hill folk on the floating island, where he intends to permanently turn them into a biological computer. Not only that, but Vector informs them that within 30 seconds the black asteroid will explode, creating an electromagnetic pulse that will wipe out all the computers on the planet. This gives Sonic an idea and tells the Omniviewer to send the black asteroid to Mobius. Omni does so as Sonic and the others witness the black asteroid exploding above Mobius. Dun dun dun.
Wow, so that's what that was.
Yeah, they're in the end game now.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But of course, the final boss being Supersonic himself.
I absolutely love the last panel of in issue 97 where Lord Sidewinder is standing on top of his tower, beckoning towards the 2 suns. He got snakes all over him. It's pretty awesome stuff.
He has pretty awesome face expressions and poses, yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah.
And also, I love the panel with the gothic-looking castle against the blood moon. I mean, it's one of the reasons why I like this artist.
Pretty good art, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, also in that one panel where Sonic and the Chaotix are searching for Sidewinder, and you get your only other reference to it being the Special Zone being a random fish.
Oh wow. Too hard to keep track of everything, I suppose. Still, I always like it when fish are used randomly like that. Gives a nice touch.
And also, looking at the special zone, all the weird shapes and geometric things going on, I do feel if it might be like an homage to the artwork of something Kirby. Oh, what was his name? Paul Kirby?
Oh, the artist from DC, you mean? From Marvel, you mean?
Marvel.
Sometimes Jack Kirby?
Jack Kirby.
Jack Kirby, that's it!
We were all thinking of the NES games, of course. Or the Nintendo games, yeah.
Well, that's what I was thinking of at that moment before Luke eventually said, like, oh, Kirby's something, I don't know.
Then it has to be Jack Kirby, yeah. Alright, fair enough. I'm sure he did stuff like that with all the weird space stuff in the Marvel comics. Like a Doctor Strange kind of thing.
Yeah.
I do kind of wonder why the Chaotix mobile resembles like a bumper car for some reason.
That right?
Oh, yeah, it does.
This is a big bumper car.
Maybe they got inspired from Erasmus with his bumper car madness.
I mean, it kind of worked with their slapstick kind of feel, although they aren't very slapsticky in Fleetway, but in the games they would be, I guess.
Now all they need is some bonus ducks floating around.
There you go.
Bonus ducks!
It actually makes me think of like this old American show. I think it's like the Space Train or something.
Ah, I guess so. It does have a bit of a 50s Americana feel to it. In terms of art style, aesthetic.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember this, like, the third part of this issue pretty much surprised me, mostly because the whole deal of them asking these, like, other alligator scientists to help them out. And it's interesting, because, like, if Vector is from, like, this group of people, that would kind of explain why he was so easy to reprogram that machine that defeated the Incredible Bulk from that one issue we did. And yeah, another interesting thing I just discovered is, much like horses, alligators / crocodiles are very rare to show up in official Sonic media. So this is probably the first time we see other alligator characters, not Vector, to walking around and stuff.
That's kind of neat. I mean, yeah, I guess Charmy had his people, and Knuckles had this one.
Yeah, Charmy had a whole colony of bees.
I guess only Espio left. I mean, we know, of course, Espio has like-minded spirits in Archie, but not here yet.
Archie definitely had its own, shinobi clan of, chameleon ninjas and whatnot, but Fleetway, I don't recall them featuring any more. Look, I think there was... Oh, no, wait, no, that's Mighty. No. Yeah, I don't recall any other chameleon characters in Fleetway Sonic.
Probably not now.
Not at the moment.
I kind of like the... Yeah, go ahead, Luke, yeah.
I'm just saying that when Lightmare reveals herself to be Sidewinder's daughter, I was like, she kind of looks like Miss Piggy.
Yeah, Miss Piggy. Yeah, that did throw me.
More the Pamela Anderson big character they had later.
Yeah, I remember that design. Like, the face kind of threw me off. It's like, at first, like, oh, okay, she's a pig. But then, like, there's another shot where we see, like, her behind. She has this big, thick tail. Like, what? And then I'm like, oh, wait, she's supposed to be like a possum. I guess.
Okay. Alrighty.
Well, that being actually called, like, Sidewinder, I thought it was like some kind of, like, they're like reptiles or something.
Huh. Yeah, at first I thought the name was just more of like a parody of, Swine Winder or Swine, but like, no, it's something else, I guess.
He himself doesn't look very swinish. Although
Yeah,
his
I
nose
guess-
kind of does, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the nose, yeah.
Fair enough. I kind of like the whole cold open action scene where all Sonic has to do is just catch the vials. I mean, it's kind of like a fun set piece for Sonic, but it's not much of a fight. Like, they didn't do anything to the guy. We immediately cut to him being arrested. It's like all he could do is throw a bunch of vials, and I'm like, okay, I guess I'm defeated now.
I mean,
Yeah.
at least he gets like arrested because he realizes, oh crap, that's all I've got left. And then the police are like, oh right, you're nicked.
Yeah, that weird guy that showed up, which, I think I posted in the live chat, like, yeah, the weird scientist guy kind of it gives me a bit of Adam West Mr. Freeze. Well, one of the designs anyway. Yeah, which I posted in the live chat there.
Alright, I'll check it out.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the
What an interesting
Mr. Freeze.
Yeah, that version of Mr. Freeze when he was just more of a minor villain before getting the tragic backstory.
That ain't Dr. Arnold Schwarzenegger. I don't like that.
He kind of looks like something out of Captain Planet as well.
Oh yeah.
Indeed.
Because I was kind of wondering, like Dr. Plague reminds me of another character, but I just don't know where. Because I keep trying to think. So, like, I've got the image in my head, but I just can't think where it was from.
I can't help
Yeah. I do notice the weird arches on his teeth, and it makes me think, like, if he has his teeth closed, then it looks like there's holes in his mouth. It's like, what, did someone shoot him in the mouth? Or, something out of a... kind of looks like something out of a Tom and Jerry sketch, like, oh, like, they're inside his mouth, then they, like, break it open with a hammer or something.
Yeah. Unless he just wanted to have holes in his teeth so he can literally hold, like, bottles of vials in his mouth.
Oh yeah, maybe that's why they were straight at first, but after holding those vials in his mouth for so long, they left those arches from burning in.
I just realized that they never like did anything with Dr. Plague. He like threw up the vials, and then we never see him again. And they don't even like talk about him afterwards.
I mean, off cameras, like. When Sonic wants to get back to Mobius, and yet you see in the background the police literally just throwing him in the prison car. So it's like the moment he lost his power.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Like his dangerous threat.
All right, good eye.
Very well spotted, yes.
Yeah, his only special power was just throwing vials.
Yeah. And I do love the montage with Sonic catching them all, and they think, oh, you missed one. It's like, oh, you missed this one? Click.
That was pretty cool. I like that.
Yeah.
That was wonderful.
And of course, Vector's like, you're such a show off.
Only all people's life at stake for your little trick. Oh, wow.
Imagine if you did drop one, it's like, fuck.
I also like him being a jerk and using Mighty as like a springboard.
Yeah, using him to bounce off, yeah.
Nice little touches. Oh, and the poor Vector, of course. I didn't even see that.
Yeah.
Vector's even worse than Mighty.
He gets stepped on.
Poor Vector.
Yeah, well, I think his tail is a different colour at that moment.
That's how hard you got hit. Poor guy.
Got hit
Vector's
so
tail?
hard his
Where?
tail become...
Yeah, I'm not seeing the different design. Yeah.
No, it's basically the moment when Sonic jumps on top of Vector's head and like you see like his tail, but it's for some reason it's painted in SBO's colours.
Oh, now I see it. Yeah. I thought that was Espio's tail. Nope.
Oh yeah,
Whoops.
yeah, it is purple.
Whoops. That's a silly mistake.
Whoopsie. Speaking of painting tails the wrong colors, what's her name? Lightmare's tail is blue in issue 98 and it's pink in issue 99.
Oh yeah, that is true. Maybe it was frozen at first and then it thawed out.
Yeah.
Let's see. Well,
How dare they? It's like if I colored it.
yeah.
Oh well.
Okay, so the one who coloured in 98 was Steve White, and this then at 99 is coloured by John Burns.
Oh.
Yeah. Good
So
job.
obviously because,
One of them.
yeah. So yeah, I'm just imagining it's just depending on the person that's colouring at the time.
I guess so. Still like the painting look. I like some of the backgrounds. At the beginning, I really love how the city looks like with the pink and purple sunfall. That's a really awesome look. So I can't blame
John
the color so
Burns.
much. John Burns.
John Burns was also the one who colored Vector's tail wrong, so
It's all that guy's fault. Oh well.
it's his fault. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At least he made a
Good job to
skyscraper.
Steve White.
At least he made the skyscrapers in the background look nice.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm feeling a bit tired, so I think it's about time we quit for the day.
I was gonna say, yeah, I was
When's-
gonna say it's fine if you don't have it on there, but it's like the cover of issue 99 of where it's like dramatic picture of like everyone being all dramatic. It's like Doomsday looms, and so it's like looking dramatic, like ready for what's about to happen, and the chaotic is just bouncing all over the place, and yet most of that whole thing is just taken up with the free Rugrats album and stickers.
Yes. Not the stickers.
Maybe that's what the Doomsday thing is about. Like Doomsday looms, it's the free Rugrats album and stickers.
Rugrats will be the death of us all.
Just a moment.
So,
while I'm getting it.
real quick before we end, though, can we briefly talk about the fan art from issue 97?
You mean Sally Acorn's appearance?
Oh yeah. Oh,
So, it's weird because like it's labeled Tails in a red wig.
yeah, shocker. Which makes no fucking sense because it looks nothing like Tails, and below that there's fan art of what Tails actually looks like.
I mean, it could kind of look like a kid drew Tails, but with a really short tail.
I guess so.
Yeah.
That's the detail you forget about Tails, yeah. I guess they didn't know about Sally Acorn, at least the American version, because
But that's
Fleetway
really
had their
weird
own.
that they. Yeah, it's weird that they not only didn't recognize Sally, but they didn't find it weird that Tails was kissing Sonic.
Yeah.
Well, I'm guessing, with all these shippings going on, I wouldn't be surprised if there were like Sonic and Tails shippers somewhere.
Oh, I guess Fleetway was quickly on
Sure,
board
yeah,
with the whole
absolutely.
LGBTQ.
Oh, don't let Aaron hear you say that.
Yep, hide yourself.
Reminds me that the actual Fleetway Sally Acorn hasn't shown up for a very long time now. I guess they forgot about her existence.
Mm.
Yeah,
Yeah, she was. Last we saw, I think she was like announcing the news.
Yep, she was a news reporter, and that's it. Where she looks more like the, one of the animal critters from the games that inspired the character. Yeah.
Yeah, now all the reporters we see are always parodies of British reporters. So they took her job. They took her job.
Yeah.
When I was first watching, I was wondering like how the editor didn't know of that this isn't Sally, like not know Sally, because I do recall that Sonic Satire was broadcasted on British television.
Or maybe
Yeah.
they just didn't want to get up early in the morning on Sundays to watch Sat AM.
Or they just trying to distance themselves, like not to mention like American Sonic at all. At all in going things British.
No. The real reason is that this particular, bit of fan art description. Yeah, this is the true origin of Screen Rant. Because they're always so reliable in covering Sonic topics. Ha ha.
Yeah.
Oh well, they can't all be nerds like us, I guess. Any other?
Also, there's just that one drawing someone made of a fox girl with a little too much detail in it.
Yeah.
yeah. Quite the outfit she's got on.
The one underneath the Sally one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like,
no.
Well,
the one underneath the Sally one.
Oh,
Next
right,
to
the one.
Robotnik.
Yeah, one next to Robotnik. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, looks a bit too revealing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Kimberly Talbot.
At least Tills himself appreciates it.
Yeah.
It does look really good.
Yeah. Yeah, he's just so like awestruck.
Yeah,
like,
it
oh,
looks
wow.
good.
Yeah.
It's just like,
and it's
Just
not
the
traced,
dress
so just
slowly
a
falling
sexual
off.
Maybe a bit too sexualized, but yeah.
Well, I did see like a letter in a future episode saying like, "Oh, this image looks traced or something."
From Archie, maybe then or something, because it's not from any Sonic artwork. Oh well.
No, it's not really a character from Archie Sonic. It definitely doesn't look like Fiona Fox.
It does have the bow
I
tie.
feel like the Sonic and Sally one actually is traced, or at least like,
Yeah.
or at least eyeballed.
Must have had it on VHS and literally just paused it at that moment of where Sally's literally starting to suck Sonic's face. That kiss.
Yeah.
I actually really love the fan art picture at in the letters page of issue 97 where Sonic and Amy have really long lips.
Oh yeah,
that one.
Liposuction. Yeah.
Yeah, liposuction.
Snaky lips.
It's even worse when you realize it's just their top lips in the shape of lips now.
Yeah, that is weird.
But yeah, imagine
Also,
Luke obviously.
Amy stole a pair of Sonic's shoes.
Oh yeah.
How dare she?
She's just that obsessed with Sonic.
And look, any statements
Yeah.
about Mighty riding the Wales dragon?
Yeah.
That is pretty cool. Him riding a dragon, and next Saturday I'm going on a family holiday to Cardiff for a week.
Oh, cool. Say hi to Zodi for me.
If you ever see him.
Yeah.
Well, what's interesting about Cardiff is that it's being used as a filming location for Doctor Who and Torchwood.
Oh, really?
I'm hoping to see some filming.
So, like, see all the different locations in there.
So you're going to see the next Doctor Who episode live?
Well, depends if it's
If
being
he's
filmed.
lucky.
Yeah.
Okay, yell at them for writing better scripts.
Or like, take me the TARDIS, I want to go to Sega World.
Take me with you.
There you go. All right, hope you enjoy your trip to Cardiff. That's next week.
Saturday.
All right.
Oh yeah, next Saturday. Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess I might as well say that. Next stream, we're not going to do a straight stream because one of you was missing, I think.
Well, Luke will be gone next Saturday, and I'll be gone next Saturday because I'll be at Winnie City, another MLP convention. Which poor Sal is already jealous after I told him of some of the guests of honor, so who they'll be.
Yeah.
Getting a lot of Sonic voice actors.
No. Well, I guess in some way, but basically, the one thing that really made him jealous was that I told him that one of the MLP voice actors that'll be there is Tabitha St. Germain, and she's done like a lot of voices over the years. But in terms of My Little Pony, she's pretty much best known for voicing like Rarity, Princess Luna, and of course the fan favorite Derpy.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Derpy is my favorite, so
yeah,
I'm jealous.
Yeah, I did promise I would try to get some kind of like voice shout out thing like I did in Cider Fest, or maybe something else. Like I think if there's like a plan B inactive, I'd probably just get like a Derpy plush or something and just mail it to you. You know, just someone, you know.
I would
Alrighty.
love that. Thank you very much.
Yeah, you're welcome.
But yeah, so despite the whole build-up towards the big climax of Fleetway, we're not going to do a regular stream next time. So I think I'm going to try to finish my Sonic Frontiers dissect I was already working on. So,
It's been quite a while since you showed off that.
Yes.
Yeah, and I've changed my mind on a lot of topics, so it's going to be interesting how that's going to work.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Real
now you
quick,
know how
I just want to point out real quick. Next stream, whenever that is, we will finally be covering episode 33 of Sonic Underground, which has what I consider the best Sonic Underground song.
Uh-oh.
Well,
Well, that's a lot of hype for next time, and the big Fleetway climax and the best song. Jeez.
Yeah.
So what a bad time to take one stream off.
Take a break, yeah.
Yeah,
Leave you all in
pretty much-
Have
suspense.
everyone wait an extra a week.
Yeah. our big Fleetway climax, or at least our big Fleetway thing until we
Endgame.
take a break from it. Yeah.
How thrilling. But yeah, that's for next time. So I'm tired, so see you everyone.
Yes.
Bye-bye.
See you next time.
See you guys later.
Cheerio. Oh, again.